go. Let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Swatted away from McDavid, who then regains it with it.
On Sports 1440.
Time is underway with a fly ball to deep left. Gone! The first pitch of the ball game. And David Schneider has hit it out.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
And the Blue Jay fans making a ton of noise. And Guerrero rips one to deep left. And it's gone. And 2 batters in, they are up 2-0.
Well, a tremendous Thursday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And as always, the Gregor Show is brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where our favorite game, the Daily Grand, your chance to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years, $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. And today, a very special show as we are live on location at CanTorque, one of our longtime partners, as they celebrate their 25th anniversary. And many of you are driving around town right now. And as you're driving, how many of you have watched racing? Maybe you visualize yourself being a racer. Well, today's the day that you can see how good you are, because at CanTorque, you know what, they can get all the tools that they do, but also, of course, their owner Colin is a huge racing guy, and so he's got the simulator set up today, and so we can see, if you like, who is the best Sports 1440 driver. So if you're around the kind of the West End on 146th Street and 119th Avenue, it's 14635 119th Avenue. Just stop in, and you can get a tour, and you can go in the simulator and see how your driving skills are. So we might do a test a little bit later on, see where we're at, and we'll find out. So should be a lot of fun as they celebrate 25 years. And speaking of celebrating, how many of you were like, what did I miss? The first pitch of the game. Are you kidding me? David Schneider goes deep on the very first pitch. Like, the crowd is stunned. Right? Like, I'm trying to, like, I guess it's kind of the equivalent of, like, you score a goal right off the opening faceoff 5-7 seconds in, right? You can't score in the first second. It's impossible, right? Although our good buddy Joaquin Gage did give up a goal in 4 seconds. That is the fastest goal in NHL history off of faceoff. So that was actually 2 goals. So that was tough. But so in theory, I guess you can score 4 seconds off faceoff. But that was a wild start for the Jays. And then Vladdy Guerrero comes out, takes a strike, and then on the second pitch he faces, gone. 2-0 on 3 pitches. You've never seen it before. In the history of the World Series, no team has ever went back-to-back jacks to start the game. It was unreal. Oh, my God. Like, if you're a Jays fan in LA, you're just going nuts. And people around them are just like, what? Like, is the game over and it hasn't even started? I've seen 3 pitches and we're down 2-0. What the hell's happening? Oh, that would be tough, man. It was unreal. Wherever you were watching, you were probably floored, excited, everything. Like, what happened? How many of you were planning to watch the game but missed the first 2 home runs? Like, honestly, I wonder how many did. Something tells me a few of you did. You're not even paying attention. Like, I talked to people like, yeah, I had the TV on. I was like, I'm up. I'm getting my chips. What? Home run? Are you kidding me? And then again, you're like, oh, that's exciting. You come back, you want to watch the replay. Still probably haven't sat down yet. Don't have your chips, your pop, or whatever you're having. And boom, Vladdy Guerrero goes deep. It was an amazing start. And then Trey Yesavage comes in. And this kid who's got, oh my goodness, that guy has got some huge cojones. First ever playoff game that he's pitching on the road. And that's what he does. 12 strikeouts, no walks, gives up 1 run in 7 innings. Pitched over 100 pitches. Phenomenal outing. Like, absolutely phenomenal. Actually struck out the 3, 4, 5, 6 batters first time through the lineup. Struck out every batter at least once. Got Ohtani twice. Now, Ohtani, it's amazing. Like, Ohtani's had 1 good game, and then he kind of had that meaningless home run in game 1 when the Jays were up 11-2 and it made it 11-4. But really, he's had his 1 monster game where he had 2 doubles and 2 home runs. But since then, Shane Bieber and Trey Yesavage are like, hey, buddy, we'll paint the corners. No big deal. Low and away. And he hasn't been able to do much since. The Jays are now 1 win away from their 3rd World Series. They could become the first franchise ever, well, not ever, first franchise since Boston, like 100+ years ago, to when the league didn't have as many teams, to win their first 3 appearances in the World Series. It's crazy. It's going to be a madhouse in Toronto tomorrow. It won't be easy, though. Yamamoto's on the mound, but just look at the Jays. They've been the best hitting team all year long. We said at the start of the series cons, everyone's like, oh, the pitching. I'm like, hey, Jays can hit. And look, like, Barger's been unreal in this World Series. Like, look at his numbers. He's been phenomenal. He's got the best average, got the highest OPS, he's got the highest slugging percentage, got everything. He's playing great. And another good catch in the outfield for him. He's been phenomenal for the Blue Jays. Ernie Clement keeps hitting. The 7, 8, 9 guys always find ways to contribute. They do it again last night. Barger, very alert, base running. Takes 3 bases on wild pitches. Are you kidding me? Pass balls. And I wonder, and who knows, you'll never know, but did the 18-inning game have some sort of an impact on Will Smith? Now, he's never been a great defensive catcher. That's not his forte. He was in that game, but he hasn't really been since, and definitely wasn't last night. There's a few of those where you need your catcher to stop something in the dirt. You just have to at some point. So the Jays are full marks, man. They are playing better. How about Blake Snell? Blake Snell, when you look at how many runs, he'd given up 1 home run in his first 320 some pitches of the playoffs. And then he gives up 2 jacks in 3 pitches last night. It was absolutely wild. I love seeing Schneider's dad. He's in the crowd and he's there, and he's got his glasses on. He's filming his son, and his son hits a leadoff home run. Like, oh my God, how fun would that be? You got a lot of the families from the team in the crowd. I don't care. You're a parent at minor league hockey, minor league ball. It doesn't matter. I don't know how many of you film your kids' games. Probably not very often, but by chance, once in a blue moon. Like, being in the World Series is a little bit different. But you know what? You film it and your kid scores right away. It's more so to see the reaction of the family. Like, they're excited, but it's kind of hard to tell, David Schneider, to see, like, how excited is my family? Like, I know they're excited, but now you get to see how excited they are. So that was pretty cool. And the Jays, they made it 2-1 in the 3rd inning. But Yesavage, God, is he a poised youngster? And you know what? It's really the only thing that's a negative for me is people like, oh, look how much he makes. Stop focusing on how much a player makes. It's irrelevant. It doesn't take his enjoyment out of the game away at all. Guy gives 2 squirts. The people who care about the money are the people who aren't having the success. right? Like, who cares what he makes? He doesn't care. He just pitched the game of his life. He dreamt about that. You don't wake up at 7. I want to be a millionaire. No, you're right. I want to play. I want to play because you don't think about the money, because you don't have a concept of money as a kid. It's kind of nice. And so don't ruin it by talking about how much money makes. How much money makes is irrelevant to this. It's absolutely irrelevant. It's funny where they play the most. Like, yeah, you get a little bit of bonuses here, but the amount of money players make in the playoffs when everything matters most, it just shows you're playing for the love of the game and the opportunity to be a champion. And it was an unreal game last night. And now they got to do it again. That's what makes it hard. The series is far from over. They got to win one more. Dodgers got to come to Toronto and win 2. Could be an epic Halloween in Toronto on Friday night for certain. I know some of you, trick or treating, you'll be mixing it in, going or not. To see some people say, I'm going to bribe my kids not to go trick or treating. I'm like, maybe they don't care about it as much as you do. I'll tell you, if my son wants to go trick or treating, he's going trick or treating. I can record the game, can watch it later. The memories you make, think about it as a kid. Some of your, I still remember my costumes. I still remember grade 6, grade 7, grade 8 Halloweens where I was going. It was loads of fun. So I would definitely not recommend taking away the opportunity to trick or treat, unless your kids don't want to. Let it be their choice, not yours. Cons, what did you think of the game last night?
Fantastic, Gregor. Like, it was. I mean, if you saw the weirdo like kind of fist pumping in his Jeep on 178th right after the first pitch, that was me. I was fired up. I'm like, are you kidding me? And the radio call, like, so much excitement, really sold it right till the very end. It wasn't a no doubter by any means, right? It just kind of cleared the wall, but the call was fantastic. And then just to roll with it. And Trey Yesavage, I mean, you talk about it. The kid, 22 years old, he's got what you can't teach. He stays so calm in those situations, even after giving up the solo shot, head down, shake it off and proceed, to mow down a few more batters. So it was fun to watch. Good to see these Jays, players who, I'll say myself, like, I didn't think they could hang with the Dodgers, and they're proving me and a lot of other people wrong right now. Big hits when needed. And I mean, I just love seeing what Vladdy's doing as well, like living up to the hype. I got the huge contract. He had to perform in the playoffs, and he's done it. It's been one heck of a story. And those Dodgers fans are like shocked when they panned around the stadium. They were absolutely shocked, and it's great to see.
So look forward to it. Barger's being great. If you bring in George Springer, awesome. But the thing about the Jays is that they have the great next man up mentality, and whoever gets in the lineup, they're contributing. When it was Nathan Lucas's turn, he's in. Schneider comes in, leadoff home run. Talk about setting the tone. Like, you can't set the tone any better than that. And obviously, Vladdy Guerrero continues to be a dominant force for the Jays. Barger had another massive game, Yesavage. So I can't wait for tomorrow night. Should be awesome. Coming up tonight, right here in our fair city, the Edmonton Oilers are back in action, taking on the New York Rangers, where the Edmonton Oilers, Shesterkin has been one of the best goalies in the NHL since he came into the league. There's no question about that. And he's only faced, in the last 4 years, because that's the only time he's ever played the Oilers, Shesterkin has a record of 137 wins, 73 losses, 21 ties. He's third in the whole league at that time in 917 save percentage. He's fifth in goals against at 250. One of the best goalies in the league, no question, except when he plays the Oilers. Against Edmonton, he's 1-3 with an 886 save percentage and a 3.0 goals against average. And that save percentage, got increased in the first game of the year this year, where he only allowed 1 goal on 21 shots. But the Oilers, Stuart Skinner was better. Stuart Skinner right now dominates the Rangers. He's won his last 4 starts against the Rangers. He's got a 950 save percentage in that time and 1.5 goals against average. He's been outstanding. Whether he's playing Shesterkin, whether it's Jonathan Quick, it doesn't really matter. He's played really well. And so the Oilers will hope that continues tonight. They're taking on a team that right now, the Rangers, their offense is like they're coming to an offensive fight. They're not even bringing a butter knife. They're bringing like a little plastic knife. They're 31st in offense. And if you look at NHL teams who have at least, forwards who have scored 8 points or more, the Rangers have none. They're the only team in the NHL who don't have a forward with at least 8 points. Pittsburgh and Vegas have 6. Edmonton right now has 3. Rangers, none. Colorado, New Jersey, Ottawa, Utah, 5. And then a boatload of teams with 4 and 3. But the Rangers have none. Panarin leads them with 7 points. Zibanejad and Miller have 6. Their top 6 forwards have 10 goals, and they play on the power play. Their bottom 6 has 9. I know I've seen people, the bottom 6 of the Rangers is killing them. No, it isn't. It's their top 6 is doing a whole lot of nothing. They're on the power play, and they have 1 more goal combined than their bottom 6 forward. And trust me, their bottom 6 forward group is not a name of, Parsonen, Laba, Radish, Edstrom, Carrick, Brzezinski. It's not like, oh my God, this is a really good list. No, but that just shows you how bad the Rangers' top 6 has been. And the other thing that really stands out to me is the speed of the Rangers. So the Edmonton Oilers come in. They have the most 22 mile an hour burst this year in the NHL. They've got the second most 20 to 22. They have the most 20 to 22 mile an hour burst. They're second in 18 to 20 mile an hour bursts. They're one of the fastest teams in the league. And Utah is right there with them. They're pretty quick as well. They're top 4 team in quickness. And we saw that last game. That was 2 fast teams. The Rangers, the Oilers have 31 bursts of 22 miles an hour. The Rangers have 15. The Oilers have 297 bursts of 20 to 22 miles an hour. The Rangers have 209. The Oilers 18 to 20 mile an hour burst. The Oilers have 1,175. The Rangers have 1,071. Like, it's not even close. Edmonton is infinitely faster. This is a game where Edmonton use your speed. You should be able to get to Shesterkin. You should create some chances. Now, he's really good. You got to break it down. Now, the Rangers, the first time, Stuart Skinner stole the game for the Oilers because they got outshot 30 to 21. And the high danger chances were 10-3. Edmonton didn't play that very well, except for their goaltender. So they kind of owe their goalie a performance tonight. And the Oilers, with all the road games coming up, you got to take advantage of your home schedule. But this is a team that can't score and isn't very fast. It's a game you should win. Now, you got to play well. Doesn't guarantee you, but it should win if the Oilers play up to their capabilities because they are the faster team. They got more skill right now, and we'll see how that comes out for the Oilers today. Coming up on the show, Landon Ferraro will join us right away. David Owens is going to join us here live at CanTorque. We got TR. Alex Faust will join us, talk about the Rangers. Like, what's up with the Rangers? Like, I know that Trocheck's out, but is Panarin that reliant on Vincent Trocheck? Now, keep in mind, Artemi Panarin is in a contract year. And I don't know if you heard it or not, but earlier today, another pending UFA, Marty Necas, just signed an $11.5 million AAV extension for 8 years with the Colorado Avalanche. Now, interesting. The Avs, they elected not to sign Rantanen. Rantanen signed for $12 million. Now, we turned down 14 from Carolina. And they got Marty Necas. I like Marty Necas, but he ain't close to Rantanen, especially in the playoffs. But I guess they obviously realized they screwed up in their negotiations with Rantanen. And away they go. So they got 8 years for Marty Necas. So if you're looking at that big free agent board for next summer, some teams are like, ooh, I wonder, look at all these guys. Well, look who's off the market. Most of them. The only 2 left, Panarin, Adrian Kempe. And if you're Artemi Panarin, and if you continue to struggle, like, you're just costing yourself money. That's just a fact. If you have a good year when you're a free agent, you get paid more. That's just how it works. If you have a bad year, now he's still going to get a good contract, but how much? And what are the Rangers going to do? So that's a fascinating story to watch. We will talk to Alex about that. Cam Tate will be by at the 2-minute warning. We're going to talk to Arda Ocal, of course, ESPN host broadcast. We'll talk all things NHL early on. We're almost done a month of the season. Speck will be by. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch. Also, Adam Henrique. We'll talk to him as he will get his silver stick tonight. You get a silver stick when you play 1,000 games in the National Hockey League. And this will be the first time the Oilers organization has ever handed out a silver stick because either they didn't have guys play there. Like Kevin Lowe has played 1,037 games for the franchise, but it wasn't in a row, right? He left, then he came back to get over 1,000, but his 1,000th game was actually as a member of the New York Rangers. So something you've never seen as an Oilers fan in Edmonton is the silver stick being handed out. First time ever. So you'll see that tonight. His teammates got him some gifts. He's a huge racing fan, so they got him like a racing helmet in Oilers colors. They also got him a Rolex and a massive Magnum. It might even be bigger than a Magnum of wine. It's all engraved and talks about the game and everything about his career. So obviously that's a good keepsake for him to have. So we'll hear from Adam Henrique later on today. We'll take your thoughts. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, the Rangers have the best bottom six in the league. From Ranger Nick. Yeah. Ranger Nick, I love your attitude about your team, but come on now. Well, it's funny. Their bottom six is at least respectable for sure, but their top six right now is the worst. It's the worst. There's no team in the NHL that doesn't have a forward with 8 points except the New York Rangers. Every other team has at least one. Some have as many as 6. And the Rangers have none early on. So we'll see where it goes. But Rangers are struggling right now, to put it mildly. We'll come back. We'll talk about that. The Oilers' success with Shesterkin. It's a little bit odd, but now it's a small sample size. But you can only go off of the games he's played against the Oilers. Those are the only games he's played, so you have to use them. They're relevant, right? Because it's all happened recently, right? Like when you talk about a guy who's an 18-year veteran, games that happened 18 years ago probably aren't that relevant. But all the recent games, hey, Shesterkin's really good, don't get me wrong. But against the Oilers, they found ways to beat him. Found ways to beat anybody, really. And they've dominated some of those games. Now, they didn't dominate last one. It was Stuart Skinner. And Skinner likes playing the Rangers. Does he get up for Shesterkin? A little bit, even though he doesn't face him. You know what I mean? He's at the other end of the ice. But, hey, anytime you're going up against one of the best at your position, you got to play better. It's just how it goes. We'll return on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at CanTorque.com.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's #1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Harris Schweiner.
The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
it might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win friends with salad.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's Jack-o'-lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
When it comes to choosing a hair clinic, the difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience. and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. It is game day. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It's the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the lovely province of Alberta. PlayAlberta.ca. Or download the new app, man. It's unreal easy to navigate. It's great for you. And odds boost every Oiler game, better odds. So check it out tonight as the Oilers are hosting the New York Rangers as we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Exciting BCHL action. The Saints are back in town Saturday night. The classic rivalry. The Saints and the Crusaders. Man, it's going to be awesome atmosphere. Two competitive teams. So get your tickets, sgsaints.ca. As we welcome in pre- and post-game host here on Sports 1440, former NHLer Landon Ferraro joined us. And Landon, the Edmonton Oilers, their head coach is talking about the need for a better start. The Oilers have only scored first once in their last 8 games. Now, they've had some good come-from-behind victories, including Tuesday's win against Utah, but you can't always play chase the rabbit, shall we say. The Oilers got to be much better early on in games.
They really do, and there's not many things that are more frustrating for a coach than a team that has slow starts and then they can play the way they do. Against Utah, like the last 40 minutes, they were fast, they were direct with pucks, they didn't turn things over, they controlled the majority of the game. So that just makes the first period that much more puzzling of, like, how can't we just figure this out from the start? And then we don't have to play from behind. Play with a little less stress for once in this early season. Just make things go a little smoother. So for them, it's just about making sure that, you're holding everyone accountable really early before the game even starts, making sure guys are locked in and making sure they know what the plan is and that they're going to play a bit more simple at the start, get their legs moving and try and get into the game that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, disconnected there for a second. I think I might have unplugged my cord as I was talking to you there. So I think I got it back on.
I was wondering what happened. I'm like, wow, I'm really getting iced out here.
Yeah, no, it was the video work, but yeah, my the radio connection. I think I unplugged the cord with my foot, so I'll have to. My apologies for that. But it is something like the coach even kind of had a sense of humor. He's talking about, he's like, well, I would just like us to get the first goal of the game, and said it with somewhat of a chuckle that you talk about that second and third period and the Oilers played fast. Now, Utah is a very fast team. Those two of the top 4 fastest teams in the league. The Rangers are not close to that, Landon. And I know that it's always, hey, just play to your game, but sometimes you can get sucked down. The Oilers, they have to play a fast game tonight against the Rangers because the Rangers just can't keep up. If the Rangers are able to slow the game down, it plays more into their hands. So how can the Oilers ensure that they play fast and use their speed?
Moving the puck quick and crisp is the first start for that. You said it right. Like, the Rangers are a team that like to slow everything down. In the game against Vancouver on Tuesday, they did a lot of getting in front of Canuck players and throwing that, kind of borderline interference, not interference. They're really good at it, of slowing people down. So it's about keeping your feet moving. When there are those little holdups, just keep driving your feet. Make sure that if it's a borderline where the ref's like, it's not quite enough, you keep your feet moving, you might get one or two or more of those calls. And all of a sudden now you're playing on the power play. But for the Oilers, it's just about, when we've talked about it, like not being on the outside as much, even in the offensive zone and kind of circling around, like driving through the middle, making the Rangers have to defend on the move, not to where they can hold their areas a little bit tighter.
Yeah, it's funny. The Oilers and the Rangers are tied for third when it comes to fewest time shorthanded per game in the NHL. Neither one of these teams take a lot of penalties. Now, neither one gets a lot of power plays either. It's kind of low event hockey when it comes to infractions. And, the Rangers, obviously, they're good at it. They don't take penalties. I guess they don't get their sticks in. Who knows? But the Oilers, you always want to look at the Oilers team and say, like, why don't they draw penalties? I think Edmonton is still, they rely a little bit too much on the perimeter, right? Because you played and defense, and you'll give them the outside because you're like, well, I still got room I can get back. I can take a different angle. I can protect the middle. The Oilers don't get a lot of power plays, I believe, because they still don't play inside enough. Agree or disagree?
I totally agree. And that's why I was saying, like, you have to get to the middle of the ice. You have to make the Rangers have to defend on the move. There's so many, like, there's a lot of guys on Edmonton that have a lot of high-end skill and are pretty good taking guys on one-on-one. The more that they can put a Rangers defender or a forward in the D zone into, like, kind of a one-on-one situation, make them defend with their feet, they're eventually going to have to reach in because they're going to get beat. Not everyone's perfect. So as soon as you get into a bit more one-on-ones like that, well, now you can get them to have to reach in, take that extra little pull because they've gotten beat clean and they know there's a 2-on-1 sitting behind them on their own net. So it's just about making teams uncomfortable, and especially after seeing Edmonton play the last 40 of the Utah game, how fast they can play. This Ranger team, like, this has to be for the Oilers, like them sitting there licking their chops at the opportunity that's ahead of them. If they skate at that pace, they're going to have success tonight.
Landon, last game, very quietly, Darnell Nurse got sat down for the start of the second period. Didn't play for the first 6 minutes. Now, Knobloch did this last year against Leon Draisaitl against the Flyers after he'd taken too many penalties and sent him a message. Now, Draisaitl responded, got an assist in the tying goal, and then won it in overtime. Nurse didn't have a giveaway after the fact, but he needed a reset. It was clear in the eyes of the coaching staff. And I know that a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you do that earlier to Evan Bouchard? And I think they had 7 defensemen dressed, so it's easier to do it. B, I still don't think when I look at Jake Wallman's ice time that he's up to game speed just yet, right? He's only played 20 minutes once so far this season, which tells me that, he's still getting back into conditioning just because he wasn't able to train the way he wanted in the offseason. Then he missed training camp, got hurt, all those sorts of things. But, like Nurse, and if you're Knobloch, like when you start to send messages to your veterans, I know it's only 6 minutes, and 6 minutes feels like a lifetime when you're a guy who's used to playing every 2.5 minutes.
Honestly, missing one shift for it is enough a lot of times, right? Like, guys, and it's not ego, it's good ego in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts your pride. You're like, there's no way to hide that your play has not been good enough up to this point, and we need way more out of you. So the best option for us is to have you sit there for a couple minutes. And as you're kind of that grocery stick in the middle, making sure everyone's got time, like, it's a bad place to be. It's lonely there. And it gets you to really kind of strip away the little lies you can tell yourself of, I just got unlucky, or this happened or that. You really look at those plays and you're like, well, I kind of overhandled the puck, or I tried to do this. Like, it makes some honesty come out. And that's why you see a lot of guys, coupled with anger formed in the right way, they come out of it and play pretty decent, because it's embarrassing. And you already knew it, but now the whole team knows it. And
right.
You got to be able to get your feet back under you and make some plays. And it feels that much better when you do start doing that. Like, other guys on the team would have realized he's not playing, right? Even some of the forwards, like, I haven't been out with Nurse in a few. They start seeing him come back and playing well. Well, now he's getting the extra stick taps and guys are making sure he knows, hey, like, great response. We love it. Like, keep going. That's big for team morale as well. But for all the guys to know, it's as much as it's on Darnell, the rest of the guys get the message as well of, if you're not going, like, you're going to sit for a bit. And I don't want that to be me. It's such a simple thing, but it does kind of kick you in the backside to get moving.
Landon Ferraro joins us here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And when you have 7 defensemen, you can do it a little bit easier. I look at the forward lines, and it seems they've got a little bit of continuity, at least in the top 6. And I looked last game; they had 7 forwards play 16 minutes or more. It was guys like Vasily Podkolzin and Jack Roslovic, Matt Savoy. Those are the guys who got the extra minutes. It was like, you can't really give them any extra minutes to McDavid or Draisaitl. They're already playing a ton of minutes anyway. But I look at Podkolzin, his forechecking. You give him a few more minutes, it's just more noticeable. Roslovic, his last few games, I think, has clearly been his best, and Savoy's been pretty consistent, I think, from day one. The 11 forwards just allows more guys to get into it, and it's not necessarily the big dogs; it's more kind of the middle dogs.
Yeah, and this Oiler team needs the middle 6 to bottom 6 to pull some of those minutes away, like grab some of those for themselves, because the more that those minutes are going to them, that means the team is deep and they're playing good and they're rolling through the lines. Everyone can get into it, but their forecheck was really good in the in the second 2 periods there. Howard got in and caused a turnover that led to a goal as well. Like, guys were starting to move, and it's hard when lines change so much and your minutes fluctuate so much. It's hard to get a bit of a rhythm. But when the game allows it to work that way and the bottom 6 is playing, up to a really good standard like they were in the last game, well, now you're just in the flow of the game. You feel everything comes a little bit easier to you because you're not, you haven't been sitting on the bench for 6-7 minutes waiting for that next shift, and then you get out there and you want it to be perfect, because if that works, well, now you got more ice time coming. When you're playing good, you get those more minutes, things start to flow a little bit easier for you. You get in on forechecks a little bit, you make the better read because you're just naturally doing it instead of thinking about it so much.
Yeah, totally true. Landon Ferraro joined us. Zach Hyman, we know he's going to miss at least 4 more games. Who knows? It might be more than that. He's not playing tonight. He's not playing Saturday. He's not going to go on the road trip for the first, or at least he's not going to play on the road trip in St. Louis and Dallas. But when he comes back, is it just kind of like, I look, even with 11 forwards, Isaac Howard only played, still played less than 10 minutes. Like, once Zach Hyman returns, you're going to send Howard down to the minors so he can play 20 minutes a night, aren't you?
You would think so. But I do like that Howard's starting to find his stride a little bit more. He's got the couple goals now. Like, that's great. That's great work to go down and feel good about yourself and then play big minutes and keep building that way. I mean, you just brought up Wallman and how, he's played a handful of games now, but he's still not up to games like his game yet, right? Like, it takes a bit of time. It's going to take Hyman a decent amount of time to get rolling, especially the type of game that he plays. It's going to take a little bit to get going, but space needs to be opened up, and you don't want a young player playing under 10 minutes consistently and just hanging around for practice. You want him down playing. Those minutes in the American League are invaluable to the majority of players that come through the ranks after being drafted or a free agent, whatever, out of school or college. Like, you need them to play. You need them to feel what it's like to be a big contributor in a pro league and have those tough matchups every single night.
Looking at the Shesterkin battle, the Oilers have had a lot of success, more than most teams, against Shesterkin, one of the best goalies in the NHL. And Stuart Skinner has had a lot of success against the Rangers. Has never lost to Shesterkin. It's obviously a small sample size, I understand it, but Skinner's best game of the season was earlier this year against the Rangers. And Edmonton ideally is not going to want to get outchanced high danger 3-1 like they did that first time against the Rangers. But they just, there are certain teams, I'm sure when you play, like, there's just certain teams that you play better against as a player automatically.
There really is. And you don't even really know why most of the time. It just kind of works out that way. It was one of the worst things when I was younger. I was unreal playing against Minnesota's farm team, and then I signed with Minnesota. I took away half my goals right away just by missing that team again. So for the Oilers, it seems to work. They play fast. Again, you're playing fast against a team that doesn't like to play fast. Now you're giving Shesterkin different looks than he's normally getting. And then back on your side, not that it was entirely like this when they played them earlier, but if you're skating and making the Rangers work for every little thing that they get, those shots are generally coming from a bit more of an easy place, a bit more where it's you see the buildup, it's easier to read. Skinner can get into position and make sure he's blocking. Like, it just opens up a little bit. Like, it does make sense to me why the Oilers play the Rangers well, because it's a lot of skill and speed against a team that wants to make more kind of set plays, and it's harder, that play down into the middle and to the bumper where JT Miller's generally hanging out. It's that heavier minutes that they want to play.
Well, and I got to ask you, because I know you've been kind of watching it, the World Series last night. First pitch of the game, gone. Third pitch of the game, gone. It was almost like well, in hindsight, the game was over after 3 pitches because LA only scored 1 run in that game. But when you think of like it's never happened in Major League Baseball history, like I don't know if I can ever think of a game at that magnitude to have that start on the road. Like the Jays, like talk about taking the crowd out of it. Like that's like your dream as a road team. You couldn't have taken the crowd out of any better than last night.
It was unbelievable. And that video of his dad filming it with his glasses, the first, just everything seemed to work out perfectly, but you could just feel it from the Jays. I'll be honest, before the series started, I was just hoping they'd grab a couple games against them and, make it a good series. But then all of a sudden, you just see the belief off of Toronto's side, and you see off of the Dodgers side of this is a lot better team and giving us a lot harder of a look than we were expecting. Yesavage was unbelievable. He's been so fun to watch, and seeing how jacked up the guys are getting. To bring it back to the Oilers, it's that feeling that the Oilers need to feel consistently right now of just excitement within their dressing room. I know it's different. We're talking World Series and what is it, game 11 or 12 now? It's obviously different, but that stuff builds up over time. And for the Jays, they ride that momentum wave, especially when they're hitting. And I mean, hitting 2 in the first 2 at bats is unheard of, and set a record. And I mean, it's Jays time all around here. Even the people that I know are a bit more Seattle fans up in this area of Vancouver, they're starting to turn the wheel a little bit too.
Have you ever seen a rookie that you played with come in and be that impressive like Trey Yesavage has been for the Jays?
I mean, not at the NHL level. Peter Mrazek coming in to Grand Rapids, Detroit system. I mean, we had a very good team, but he won us that Calder Cup. Him through that playoff run was unbelievable. It really was. That's the closest thing I have, because at the next level, it would have been Dylan Larkin's first year.
Right.
And he started off pretty hot, seeing that speed and his hands. But even there, that's training camp in the first 10 games before I got punted to Boston. That's not showing up and doing it twice in the World Series.
Yeah, that was a wild performance for him last night. 12 Ks, no walks. That was and he struck out every guy in the order, including Freeman multiple times and Shohei.
And making it look bad too. Eh?
Yeah. Oof. It's funny. You can say, hey, you know what? Good pitching will always beat good hitting. I'm like, I'm not so sure. The base hitters have been pretty damn good. Like Blake Snell had just been pitching for fun against everybody else, and the Jays have rocked him twice. And you know what? Now they got Yamamoto. That's obviously going to be a tough test, but look forward to it tomorrow. We look forward to the Order game tonight. Landon, thanks for your time, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Landon Ferraro joining us, pre- and post-game host here on Sports 1440. We are live at CanTorque, selling tools, solving problems. Also, they got the simulator here. Do you think you got what it takes to be the best driver of a Sports 1440 listeners? Well, hey, put your money. Well, you don't even have to put up any money. Just put your ego where your mouth is. Come on down, check it out. They're celebrating their 25th year here at CanTorque, so you can stop in on 119th Avenue. and 146th Street, 14635, 119th Avenue. The simulator is up and running, and we'll see who's the fastest by the end of the show. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back Thursday on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of redeemable at any local operating restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Today at loca.ca.
5-time league champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the air at the brand new Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action. Enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer, like experiencing a steam pool in your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking, and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets, how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
Your all access pass to the world of sports. Only sports station.
From pre and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Testing teams on duty. Safety and compliance are critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disasters.
Their preventers are legendary, spotting fault early. Part of the Action Electrical team. To win for your project, visit actionelectrical.net.
Pumpkins glow and night turns chill. There's one fall treat that fits the bill. A pizza shaped like a jack-o'-lantern with smiling pepperoni pattern. Thin golden crust, so cheesy and tasty. Get yours now, better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time. For a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better be. Yes, it's true. The jack-o'-lantern pizza is for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off a $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Today, Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the Men in Power province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Winter doesn't mess around, and neither does Titan Supply. For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries because we lead with integrity, honesty, and respect. I'm Joe. And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard, we're fully stocked with reading, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do. Titan Supply, built in trust, driven by safety, serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer County. Let us help you face the weather the Titan way. Visit TitanSupply.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Get it all. Jason Gregor Show.
Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through game day on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. We're coming to you live today from CanTorque, where they celebrate their 25th. Tools they have 400, 119. So there you go, 119th Ave, 146th Street. Stop in and leave in here. You didn't hear very well. It's not different Dave, not Dave Owens. We'll see, though, if you've done the simulator. The show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. It's time for Thursdays, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor locations on 50th Street, 92nd. Of course, the original location, St. Albert Trail, best selection for beer, wine, coolers, spirits, and all non-alcoholic choices of the same Sherbrooke Liquor. David Owens, What is Dave? Did you jump in the simulator yet?
I have not yet. Serious.
Oh yeah. I got to put it. I'll put a video up. But I just videoed it the last commercial. Race. So, like it is awesome. It's
insane. Yeah, I'll have to give that a go for sure. You don't do that. $10,000 put all that together. It's insane.
If you've ever kind of wanted to get a little bit of experience, man, like you got to hit the brake hard in those corners, and if you're not prepared, you're going in the ditch very quickly. So today, what are we trying? Yeah, these are little. Look at these little. It's funny they screwed some guy screwed that one up. But these are all little small 2 stacks. Literally, it's like 2 ounces or 3 or something.
Yeah, it's just a little over 3.5, about 3.4 actually.
Freddie would love this. His hands would look bigger. So.
And yeah, so things, we're about to get into that. So, some people like to give out adult treats on Halloween. Perfect size for an adult treat. Yeah. And they're also a perfect size to maybe pop into your coffee mug. Now we don't advocate walking around with a coffee mug full of booze one there. But if you were to do that kind of thing, these are really perfect.
Because when I was a kid, my parents didn't go trick or treat. Like once you were 6 or 7, you went out there.
Yeah.
I remember going trick or treating. Me and my buddies thought it was unreal. Like the streets are safe. Like you got to be like Mo from Gavin Hobbs.
Yeah, if it was minus 30, you'd put on a skier.
Yes.
Right? Walk around with
there you go.
That's it.
So we're going to start out with the Irish whiskey.
So, our signature dram. This is like totally approachable. It's friendly. It's kind of like you're happy that's there. Just remember, you got to slow down a bit. Hold it in your mouth a little bit.
You're right.
Right?
Rookie.
Chill out.
Oh my
Chill
God.
out with it.
5 seconds. Put it in your mouth. Then before you swallow. All right.
There.
That could have been interpreted a lot of different ways. We're talking about
talking about and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just a really great, easy Irish.
Your heart.
Your heart. And on its own over ice.
So this one, the next one is also the Irish whiskey, but it's called their double barrel.
This
so
is
what's the difference?
And this is a single malt double barrel. So a double barrel means that they've aged it in 2 different casks. They start off on typically. So this one, the other one was sort of honey and apple, and this one's more like pear and vanilla. So this is kind of similar to the first one, except it's like wearing a leather jacket. It's a little bit cooler. Yeah.
It is amazing the difference it makes when I actually listen to your tip of when you put an Irish whiskey, just let it, swish it around your mouth for 5 or 6 seconds, then swallow it. Infinitely better.
Mm-hmm. It really it adds that your natural saliva takes care of toning it down and giving you the whole flavors out of it. And any spirit really is a great way to taste it. Anything, whether it's whiskey or gin, whatever it may be, that's a great way to start off with it.
Well, I wonder if you're doing shooters at a place, if you held the shooter in your mouth for a sec, would it be? Because remember when guys would do like
tasting better?
Yeah, like
right?
all of a sudden like certain tequilas and others. I just wonder, like, does it work for tequila too? Like if I hold
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So it's all getting the natural saliva.
Anything
that's what you want.
Absolutely.
So anybody is home tonight when you're watching the Oilers game, if you've got something on the rocks, maybe just take the sip, hold it, then swallow.
That's right. When it starts to burn a little bit, hold it for like 5 more seconds, and then every sip after that's going to
get all the taste. It's like a bouquet of flavors.
Yeah, and every sip after that's going to be toned down and where you want it to be. You'll always catch it.
Okay. So now we have Chipper's Cherrywood. This is an old fashioned. So
that's right. Different. So this is like this is sort of bougie in a can, bougie with sneakers. It's like you want to own cufflinks, but you don't, kind of thing.
You want to own cufflinks, but you don't. Well, yeah, from the Irish whiskey, man, that old fashioned tastes really smooth.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
And that's the part where, we're starting off with that and moving into this with that extra sweetness and flavor. And
it's got a little bit of the cherry kind of undertone to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but that orange zest through there, but that cherry under, you're right. That cherry under it Well done.
Hey, you know, I'm getting better.
Getting
Doing this
better
for a
all the
while.
time.
The cherry undertone is very good.
Very good.
That one, like that to me, chippers plus the can is a classic.
Classic.
Right? The can. For all of you guys out there with small hands, this is the one that you want. Okay? You're going to feel much
man.
better with that. Right?
Huge.
There's a
Yeah.
few of you out there. We're not going to mention names.
Yeah.
But there's a few people that are big but have really small hands. Not sure why.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah. And now we're going to move into the Boulevardier. So this is
a pret-à-boire.
Pret-à-boire.
Boulevardier.
That's right.
French. Prepared to basically it's prepared to drink.
Yeah. So this is the cousin of the Negroni. So essentially it's a Negroni, except they're using whiskey instead of gin in it. And so this is that.
They use whiskey instead of gin.
Whiskey instead of gin. It's
And so-
exactly the same,
but what's
except
the
they swap out gin.
But it's still called, it's not a Negroni, is it?
No, it's called a Boulevardier.
A Boulevardier. Oh,
That's correct.
Boulevardier.
And so I'm a big fan of Negronis, but I'm also a huge fan of the Boulevardier.
Honestly, I've never even heard of Boulevardier.
Yeah. Yeah. This
Wow.
is slow confidence in a can. We call this one. This is right off the bat. It gives you that Negroni vibe, you know, with those with that vermouth and
God,
bitters.
I'm gonna have to say, Boulevardier people, that might be my new favorite sipper. Oh, that is really good.
Top notch.
And I really like Negroni.
Yeah, and this is for a pre-mixer, you know, this white box, they're doing a great job, and this is a super high quality.
Yes.
You know, a great thing, you know, they tell you how to enjoy it on the side of the can as well. It gives you a little idea what kind of rocks guy, you know, put in a large cube, orange peel on it.
How to serve. Yeah. For the idiots, like, you know, like,
For the-
you know, the young Gregors out there, the idiots, how to serve. It even has the instructions on how to serve.
Right
Basically,
on it.
can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Jens, you're really trying to be impressive. Maybe got a date, you know what? Maybe it's anniversary, you know, you're trying to impress your lady or your man, whatever it is, that anytime it has the instructions on the label, that's classic.
Oh yeah,
To me,
have her wait in the sitting room, and you go into the kitchen, crack a can, put it into a nice glass, take a little bit of time, shake some ice,
Yeah.
to make it sound like you're doing something.
Yeah, hold it, swish it around,
Oh,
5
yeah.
seconds before you swallow. It's always better.
That's right.
All right.
All right, and last but not least, this is the back to the Two Stacks Irish whiskey, which is a really great brand, Irish whiskey. This is their double Irish cream. So this is like,
I can tell you right now, I haven't even tasted it. I know I'm going to like it
Cozy
because it looks like chocolate milk.
yeah, cozy sweater, you know, just that.
Yeah, it smells unreal. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
very good. So it's whiskey and Irish cream. That's basically all it is.
It's Irish cream. Yeah, it's it's their version of a Bailey's, essentially.
Oh, it actually tells you what's in it. It has
you go.
8% pot still, 40% dark grain, 40% light grain, 2% peated malt,
Ooh, a
and
little peated malt
10%
in there, yeah.
double malt.
There you go.
Wow. I know
So-
exactly what's in it.
So yeah,
Again, we're making you smarter today. These cans, well, they're making me smarter. I don't know if we're making you
yeah,
smarter.
everything's
They're
on.
making me smarter.
You can totally you take this, you look at the back, you look like a pro.
Like golf guys, like this is
Oh.
the easiest birdie juice can you could ever
Easiest
see.
birdie juice cans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no brainer. And this
So
the two
great.
stacks. Like if you're doing the two stacks, like Irish whiskey one, you might need to have. You got to make sure you're going to a golf course that has the cooler so you can have the ice because you're gonna need some ice with these bad boys.
Yeah.
But this double Irish cream look here,
Oh man.
simple for all the parents because it's outdoor hockey arena is coming soon. Also Halloween. This will make your trek if you need to go. But you know what? I always encourage let your kids roam around the neighborhood. They know what they're doing. They're way more. They don't care where mom or dad is. Just let them wheel around. Now, a certain age, of course. But I honestly think 9 and up. If you got one friend who's 11 in there, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
More than
100%.
fine.
Yeah,
More than
that's
fine.
what we did with our kids as soon as they hit that
Oh
10.
God, yeah. Like I remember, like you almost to the point now where your kid's embarrassed. They're like, "Mom, Dad, why are you with me right now?" Like seriously, I can go trick or treating. We're in a group of 5 kids. You know, look both ways when you cross the street.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
Parents can sit at home.
Exactly.
Hand out Jello shots as well as
Yeah.
some,
Yeah, we also have we got buckets of Fireball. So it's like
the 2-shot fireballers.
there's the little shot, shot Fireballers, 50 in a bucket. And that's been super popular for the adults handing out candy gift this year. We
Yeah,
did,
imagine if you had to do one every time the Jays hit a home run. Gosh, you would have started last night on a real good note. Ooh, how was that? Did you watch that game last night?
man, I couldn't peel myself off. Like I was so glad I was there to start it. Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like when Schneider hit the first pitch home run, you're just like, what is happening?
Some expletives came out of my mouth. I was like, what? Top of my lung. My daughters are coming out of their bedroom. Like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, you wouldn't believe it. They're like, okay, Dad.
And then the next, and then one strike, and then Vladdy goes deep again.
Goes
You're
deep
just like,
again.
oh my God, you're almost out of expletives.
But it was the stuff that Trey was doing that was just like he'd finish an inning and it'd be like, I'd just be like, wow, unbelievable.
Well, if you look at how many strikeouts he had by them swinging, right? Like that's what, like they're trying to hit and they can't hit him. Like they literally could not hit him last night.
That splitter, when he gets that going, it is just filthy.
Well, it's so ridiculous. I've never seen a guy like his arm comes, like most guys come like from the side of it. Like he comes right over the top. It is, I could see how it's really difficult to pick up, excuse me. I could definitely see
and like so many records.
Yeah. Well, the Jays too, like the Jays. Oh, this hasn't been done. This, like the Jays have been the thing that I find interesting is I read all these, oh geez, the Jays are hitting. I'm like, do you guys not, like, the most simpleton person can go to the MLB website and click on most hits. Oh, the Jays. Best batting average. Oh, the Jays. Oh, so they are a pretty good hitting team. And by the way, go look at Vladdy Guerrero's regular season numbers. They weren't like, oh my God, he was killing it, and the rest of the team was riding his coattails. He was okay, a little bit above average, but in the playoffs, he's been amazing.
He's been amazing.
Of course.
Right up.
But, like, look at this series. Look at Addison Barger. What a World Series he's having. 25-year-old. Like, clearly, guys, you want to start to get on a good streak, go sleep at your buddy's house on his pull-out bed. That's the key.
And it's, right. Yeah. Like, I find out if you did that again when we got home, but it's just amazing. I think, it's that next man up attitude has been so great. And like guys coming off the bench and, like Barger coming off the bench and hitting that, hitting the grand slam.
Oh.
Schneider last night coming off and, first hit of the play, like just everybody's coming up and contributing, even if it's just a little bit. And they all embrace all of that, and that is why they're the best team out there. Right?
Wow. The thing is, I think most people, when you watch the Jays, they're a very likable group, right? Like, like how many people who aren't baseball fans are like, who's this Kirk guy? Look at him behind the plate. He's a little rotund, and he gets to the plate. He's 5'8", and then he's hitting bombs, right? He's catching behind. There's a lot, like, my wife's not a big, she's just like, she just loves the fact that Kirk's a pro athlete and he's and very good. He's one of the best catchers. She's like, well, how is he playing compared to everybody else? I'm like, well, you know what? He's not the fleetest of foot, but he can swing, he can hit, and he's one of the best defensive catchers out there. He knows how to call a game. And then, you got Ernie Clement and Jimenez, like IKF gets claimed on waivers for goodness sakes. And he comes in, he's solid, and all their outfielders are making plays, and guys are hurt. Bo Bichette's playing on one leg and he's contributing. And you got this rookie superstar who's probably going to be great. Then you got old Husky eyes, Scherzer, who's just one of the most intense guys you'll ever see.
Oh, man.
Right?
His interview after the game last night was awesome.
And honestly, like John Schneider, like look at John, like Schneider, the only thing I disagreed with was when he put Straw in for Barger. Now I didn't know he was going 18 innings. So I'm like, I'm probably being picky here, but all of his other, when he's putting guys in, look, he puts in Schneider and people are like, what the hell's he hitting Schneider leadoff? Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. He went yard first. So guess what? It worked. And Hoffman, people are like, oh, the Jays can't win with Hoffman. Has anybody looked at Hoffman's numbers in the playoffs?
They're insane.
Off the charts. Good. Yeah. Right. Off the charts. Good. So, all the guys are contributing. And, if they pull this out, it's a team that it's very odd for Toronto because they're likable.
They are so likable.
Like there's a lot of teams in Toronto that aren't likable. This team has a lot of likable players.
They do. Like I said, my mom loves watching Kirk play, and my wife comes and watches, and she's like, every time there's an interview, she's like, oh, he's so nice. Oh, he looks like a really nice boy. She's got her Springer crush now. She's got that sorted. So it's it's fun.
Oh no, it's good time. So stop in at Sherbrooke. Remember, if you wear your Oilers gear on any day, get 10% off.
That's right. Yeah, and Jay's game days too. Don't forget that. Right. So
Friday
night. Get set up. Get down to one of our stores. Yeah. Load up. We've got we actually have a Jays and six pack that we're selling there.
Oh. Foreshadowing.
All the cans are a beautiful shade of blue that match the boys. Yeah, so come down, check them out.
For all the superstitious people.
You
might have to get one. Right. I like it. Thanks,
right.
Dave.
Right on. Thank you.
Get on the let's see what your time.
I'm gonna
is.
go check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it. We'll see. Try not to hit the ditch.
Yeah, right.
So, all right.
Yeah,
there you go.
Right on.
That's David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor, we are live at CanTorque. Let's get to the comment and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where their rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The game day, the Oilers at home hosting the Rangers. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Pregame coverage with myself. And Donovan Paulson gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere around the NHL, you got the Stars, Lightning, Sens host the Flames, Bruins taking on the Sabres, Islanders, Canes, Blues host the Canucks, Penguins taking on the Wild, and the Kings hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Colorado Avalanche have signed forward Martin Necas to an 8-year, $92 million extension. The 26-year-old has 7 goals and 13 points in 11 games so far this season. In the NFL, Week 9 kicks off as Lamar Jackson and the Ravens head to South Beach to take on the Dolphins. That gets going at 6:15 on the hardcore. You got 4 games tonight. Bucks host the Warriors, Magic in Charlotte, Thunder taking on the Wizards, and the Heat in San Antonio. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by former NHLer Terry Ryan. We'll discuss the Rangers with the voice of the team, Alex Foss, and we'll speed things up in the CanTorque Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Oodle Noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell
to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports.
And henceforth, the
afternoon. How are you? And welcome.
Noodle.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sani dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep.
What do you think of the game last?
Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian
Making
products.
sure
from
that
you.
get their legs-
That's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI. Custom Floors.
Welcome back.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom
Welcome back. It is
CustomFloorsInc.ca.
Sports 1440.
Host of this post-game show on Sports 1440.
Sports
After
1440.
every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins.
Gregor Show presented by
Must be
PlayAlberta.ca.
18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
From the
Gambling website.
to homes and businesses.
We roll through game day on Sports 1440. Sports 14.
Are here to
We'll coming to you live today from Camp Anniversary. You can stop in.
We're members of the Federation
Anniversary. You can stop in and try this.
providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on. Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca. Blast from the past just came in here at CanTorque. Old Meg Storms, Connor Halley was just chatting with Meg. So we're gonna have to get her on, see what's going on. She's running a golf course now, so it's awesome to hear. So we might have to track her down. She's every time I think of Megs, I always think of the time when we did our when Habby Boulin claimed he had one glass of wine when he blew .14, and I was like, that's the biggest joke ever. So through Matt and the police, we did the whole show where just to explain to people, like, hey, it's BS to claim that you had one glass of wine and you blew .14. Like, give me a break. But just to show you, and we were doing the drinks, and we had to do a highball and a shooter every half hour. And by 2 hours into the show, Meg was off the air. Which is good, you know, it just shows, hey, but that was still 8 drinks. Like, that's a lot in a short period of time. And what we also learned was, I still remember that, because when Meg went off the air, she had blown like .14, like basically the same as Habby Boulin. And then an hour later, we're just like, well, let's just test you again. And she hadn't had anything. And then she blew .18, which is just a reminder for anybody that it's, hey, nowadays with cabs, with anything, do not drink and drive. It's so irresponsible. And it's just unnecessary. Go and have fun, man. I'm all for having fun. I've had tons of fun in my life. I love it. But don't risk your life for others by drinking and driving. So just don't do it. So you'll be better off for it. We'll be better off for it. Everybody will be happy. And now, like, there was back in the day, there wasn't the options, but there's way more options now for you to be smarter. Basically, like, it just book the ride beforehand. Hey, I got an Uber, I got a Lyft, or whatever you're using. Maybe stay away from the scooters when you've had too many. Talk to any of my friends in the hospitals late at night. It's like the #1 cause of injuries. So not ideal. We are live. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. It's game day tonight. The Oilers and the New York Rangers. The Oilers, they're going to try to do something different, score first, which hasn't been a strength of theirs at all. They've only scored first once in their last 8 games. Now, we saw it against Utah. Hey, you come back, you don't want to do it all the time. Yeah, you'd like to get a lead, which would be a lot better. Look at the Oilers. They scored first in each of their first 3 games, and they were 2-0-1 and probably should have been 3-0. And since then, not as much success. So get a lead, especially against the New York Rangers, who do not have much offense right now. They're the only team in the NHL that doesn't have a forward with 8 points. They are 31st in offense. Only the Calgary Flames have scored fewer goals than the New York Rangers. They won on Tuesday night. They won basically 1-0. They got an empty net goal from Sam Carrick to make it 2-0. So they're a team that they got pretty good defensive structure. They don't score much. So if you're the Oilers, get up on them, force them to open up a little bit, and maybe you could extend that to a 2 or 3 goal lead. As we welcome in from Shoresy, former NHLer, Terry Ryan joins us. TR, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm in Grand Prairie at the Oil Men's Hockey Tournament. We're raising some money. We're having a great time and running into some old friends. How are you doing?
Hey, I am great. When you get out there, do you show them that you used to be a first-round pick? Like, are you dangling out there? What's happening?
Yeah, am I dangling? I suppose. I mean, I skate every day. I try to keep myself in shape, and you come to these and you kind of read the room, I guess you could say. So this particular tournament, Colin Forbes is here from Sherwood Park. There you go, a former NHLer I haven't talked to in a while. But for the most part, it's pretty laid back. So in these things, it really depends. You let the situation that dictate itself. But I play defense in this particular one. A lot of people here that don't play much hockey. It's more about the event, the celebrating hockey culture and raising some money.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, yeah. But like I remember when we played with Joe Neuendijk, and we just said, Joe, once a period, you have to show us that you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he would do it once a period, and you're just like, oh my God, it was wild. I think a lot of people underestimate how good Joe Neuendijk was, how big he was, and what an absolute laser of a wrist shot he had.
Yeah, it's wild because he's done actually a few of these. So I do these under the umbrella of Jackson Events. Okay, so Andrew Jackson runs that. Andrew Jackson's brother is Jeff.
Okay,
right. So with the Oilers. So and Andrew has, I'm guessing, 40 or 50 of us like that. That he's got that do some of these events. So Joe Neuendijk's one. So I've done 2 or 3 with it. You know, by the end of a year or two, you end up coming across everybody. We don't all do every event, but it's a small world. So anyway, Neuendijk, first of all, his stories were unbelievable, and you do kind of forget how good he was, because a lot of what Joe Neuendijk did, at least at the time, there wasn't much data kept or analytics on, like, defensive time in the zone or shots blocked. I was actually just talking with Colin Forbes about Craig Ludwig, right? We just talked about Craig Ludwig and the craziness, how he used to block all these shots before it was even a thing. You're right. Like, I mean, I really don't know. I just remember him having those big shin pads, and Neuendijk, when I came in, we all knew him because he was a great player, but he did a lot of things. There's a lot of nuance to his game. So guys like that, that's why I come to these. Honestly, I got lucky with Shorzy, and I'm really proud of my career. But I'm a lot of times in awe at these events because, for me and Dolo are in the show, and we're here for a reason. People love the show, but it's generally hockey legends that we get to, just play hockey with is crazy enough. But to hear the stories and be friends, so it really is. A small community, but we go all over Canada and the world, but basically Canada. And, hearing stories, there's 8 teams from Grand Prairie, 10 teams total. I'm sure people listening know how many Newfoundlanders come out here. I mean, Fort McMurray and Grand Prairie is the biggest population of Newfoundlanders outside of Newfoundland. And, there's a lot of, and a lot of people play hockey. If I was to go down south, a lot of these fundraisers are golf events. But in Canada, right, a lot of people love to play hockey. So that's basically what it is. You go to these events, and usually, the community gets involved. The local legends come out. We were in Sudbury just a couple of weeks ago. Brian Savage, who I played hockey with, he's from there. There's usually like a local on stage, and then kind of the branches come from there. I'm just happy to be part of it, that I still get to play hockey and converse with people about, Canadiana or hockey or whatever. It's a privilege to be able to do things like this.
Now, you mentioned Brian Savage. He was playing in October, so he's probably killing it. There is no better Mr. October than Brian Savage to start every season.
He would have like 22 goals by October 20th and finish with 24.
Yes.
But he's very aware of that, and he brought it up a bunch of times. He even spoke on stage and talked all about it. No, he's aware of it. Great guy, great player. And it's funny because back then, when I come in, like, I knew Brian from, I was 19. Right. I ended up going back to Red Deer at the trade deadline, but until then, Montreal wanted me to practice with the team. I only played 4 games that year, but I practiced all year with the team, and I got to know guys, but I felt like a kid brother. I didn't really feel like I was on the Habs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and we were just fine. And they told me the reason. They're like, we can't send you to the American League. That's where you'd be. But we don't want to send you back to Tri-Cities. I had 50 goals the year before and 25 fights or something. So they were like, they're in last place. So tell us where you want to go. We'll work on that. I picked Red Deer because Aaron Ashton was there. He was drafted to the Habs. BJ Young, rest in peace, ended up getting 58 goals there. Jesse Wallen was there. Devin Francon, Lance Ward, a bunch of guys that would be like, we were a good team. So I knew that, and I knew I was going back to junior. But during the year, yeah, it was like I was a kid brother. So that's how I knew Savvy. But now doing some of these events, it's great because I could, like an adult, I know that sounds crazy, but I felt the first time I talked to Brian Savage as like an adult peer was only recently doing these events, because back in the day, I was like a kid brother to everybody.
Yeah, I look at when like Brian Savage, we're joking about his, but the guy still scored. Like, he had a really good career, right? Like he was obviously Mr. October, but he still scored almost 200 goals in the NHL. He's a 4-time 20-goal scorer. He would just start out, he would have like 8 or 9 goals in October, and you're thinking, oh my God, this guy's going to score 40. And then it would just kind of peter off. It was crazy, but he was still a really good player, right? Like, I remember when he was in university, man, like he was like almost a 2-point-a-game guy. Like, he was a goal-a-game guy, I think, his last year in college. And I don't care, like, when you're playing college or major, junior, and you're a goal-a-game player, like, you're a really, really good player, right? Like, an elite player at those levels. And, and he was a late pick. I think he was like an 8th rounder back in the day when they had 8, 9 rounds. I think it was like 176th or 7th or something like that. But like people can kind of joke about it, but I'm still like, hey, that guy was a hell of a player. Like, I don't know how many guys have scored almost 200 goals in the NHL. I'd have to look it up, but I'm guessing the list isn't that long.
No, you are absolutely right, man. And I think he went in the 8th round. And I remember, he played at Miami, Ohio. And his son now is actually in the coast. His son just scored his first pro goal the other day. I'm really pumped to reconnect with Savvy, because I felt a little bit inferior back then, right? So, and Savvy, look, say what you want. He shoots left. I was in competition for him. He's a forward with, obviously you want to play all over. I mean, he ideally wanted to play left wing, and me too. And we were kind of in competition. And that's always a weird thing in a sport like hockey, where it's such a team-driven sport, but there is an individual level going, like, I want to make this team. And I did everything I could to make it, obviously. I mean, I looked up to Savvy. I didn't think I was going to play ahead of him. There's all kinds of other guys that I thought, but still, we're kind of in competition. But it was like maybe 3 weeks in, and when I got told I made the team, I was excited, but I was like, I fell off the turnip truck, man. Like, this was the Montreal Canadiens. I gone from Mount Pearl to Quesnel, BC, to Tri-Cities, which, like, really, I was just, I was naive. I was a good hockey player, but I just didn't know the professionalism of not only hockey, but the world. And he took me in, and Scott Thornton, I mean, they were all pretty decent, but I remember those guys really taking me aside and going, okay. I think they saw me as, a version of themselves. Scott, same thing. Forward, shoots left. We were all there, but they took me in. And Savvy, I remember saying, look, here's the way it goes. Why don't you just meet me? Because we were, I mean, like, from every aspect of life, not just on the ice, but, going out for dinner and drinks and a cigar. I was like, what are we even talking about, right? I just didn't know the life. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't know red wine. I didn't know, like, tortellini. I didn't know anything. I knew fish and chips, chicken fingers, cheeseburger. Like, I just didn't know. So between him and Thordy, but really, they took me aside, and I remember Savvy sitting me down and really having a one-on-one with me and said, look, I know you're a bit of a nerd. I really was. But you come here, meet me, and we'll go from there. And this is what calamari tastes like, and this is what red wine, or this is Cabernet Sauvignon, this is Merlot. Like, I didn't know any of that. And he was nice enough. And looking back, man, I was a first rounder, and I was ready to do whatever. I was breathing down his neck. And I didn't think about it at the time, but now looking back, you realize, some people are just good people. And I mean, it takes a team, and hockey's a team game, but it's not always that way. But when it is, I guess it feels comfortable is the wrong word, but it really, really, really made me feel at home in an environment that wasn't comfortable.
TR, have fun in Grand Prairie. Thanks for joining us. I know you're super busy this afternoon, so we appreciate that. Quickly, give me your thoughts. What's happening? Are the Jays going to finish them off tomorrow night?
Well, I tell you this, man, I don't know. We were here yesterday at that tourney or at the opening of this tournament, and we were watching the game, everybody as a group. I was in tears. There was so much to unpack. I really hope they do it. And I honestly, just as a Canadian is one thing, as a Jays fan, but you look, man, and the zeitgeist or the whole pulse of baseball now is looking at this. And I really think I'm listening to Derek Jeter and Rodriguez and all these ex-players, and they go on there and talk, and they love the Blue Jays game. The Blue Jays will play small ball. They'll do whatever. Clement diving into first base the other night was one of the most beautiful things I've seen. Like, it's just, they'll do whatever. And it's only a game of inches, but they seem to do it. I really think they deserve it. I mean, LA or LA, they could win the next two games 10-0. But if the Jays pull this out, I think it's one of the biggest team wins and Canadian country unifiers that we've seen in recent history.
Well, they're a very likable team, is what I said. Like, they got a lot of characters that are likable, and the truth of the matter is that doesn't really happen out of Toronto very often. So they have a lot of likable players, no doubt. And
good way to put it.
Yeah, and that's what makes them fun. Awesome. Enjoy Grand Prairie, TR. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton, and chat again soon.
When we come back, the New York Rangers in town, 31st in goals, but they got Shesterkin. They got a lot of guys who can't score. Why? We'll find out from Alex Faust next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep, it's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touch screen, keyless entry, and heated front seats, all starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Since 1971, The Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, we'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost. 1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. What's the best place, or the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world? Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite texts. We are live at CanTorque on 100 and 19th Avenue, 11935 146th Street. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary. I put it out on Twitter. I'll put it out on some other social platforms. I showed the simulator, and we're trying to see which one of our Sports 1440 listeners is the best. Colin's out there monitoring it to see, because you get your time. You can't cheat. It's right there. Let's see how you do. They'll have the running tally to see who's the best driver. They're open all night tonight, so if you get off work late, feel free to stop in. They'll welcome. They got some food and other things, so it'll be a lot of fun. But more importantly, you can test yourself in the simulator. Now, I got this from Muzz just because it's funny. This is such a guy text. I love it. Hey, Gregor, please settle something for me. I told my wife I could beat Kirk in a race. I'm mid-40s, but was always above average in sprinting. She thinks that despite his build and speed, he's a pro athlete. I still think there's no chance he beats me. What do you think, Muzz? Well, Muzz, I looked it up. So they track it. Kirk's top speed is 24 feet per second. Right? So, if you want it, you can measure it out. Now, that's not from a standstill, right? Like, that's when you're rounding the bases. They track everything in baseball. He's obviously the slowest on the Jays, but his was 24 feet per second. So if you want to do like, okay, how long is it going to take you to run the bases? Then say, okay, I got to be able to do that distance. And if it's, 24 times 4 is what? 96? Right? So 96 feet. You got to be there in 4 seconds or less. And then just add on. So then you'll know if you're faster than Kirk. God, we should set that up somewhere. I wonder how many people will be quicker. I remember when some people thought they could, people would watch. I still remember. They're like, oh, now I can outskate George Larac. And I remember there's lots of, young players, 17, 18 in junior, and they're playing, Ringette team at U of A. And they're like, oh yeah, we can beat them for sure. Because on TV at times, George didn't look fast for an NHL player. George destroyed them. It wasn't even, and he was so pissed. Like, he was so mad that they actually thought they could beat him. So he's like, oh, I'm not letting up. Like, I'm going to pump him. And he crushed them. So I don't know how, like, what we see, like, Kirk's slow compared to other major leaguers, but is he slow to the average guy? It's a great question. There's some guys that could beat him running for sure. It doesn't mean you could beat him in anything else, but you probably beat him in running. But I'd be curious to know how they could. I wonder how fast our next guest is. We'll see as we go around the NHL. Brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in business, one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province. And guess what? They're hiring second, third, and fourth year electrical apprentices. Send your resume, careers@actionelectrical.net. The voice of the Rangers, Alex Faust, joins us. Alex, how quick are you, buddy? When was the last time you timed yourself in a race?
Oh, geez. I only caught the tail end of that where you're talking about George Larac, and I wouldn't even begin to know. I haven't even run a 40 in probably since high school. So
okay,
there you go.
It's just because one of our texters was Alejandro Kirk, the catcher for the Jays, not necessarily the fleetest of foot. He's like, I'm pretty sure I'm faster than him, and so on the MLB stats, his average is 24 feet per second. So that's what he runs. And I don't even know. I'd have to translate that out to see what that meters is in 1 second and yada yada. But sure, he's slow. It's like, I don't know who the slowest player on the Rangers is, but he might look slow, but he'd still beat 99.9% of people by a significant margin. So Kirk would be an interesting one, because I think when people see him run, they're like, well, he's not that fast. But when he has to turn it on, he's still okay.
I called a couple of Jays games this summer, and let me tell you, like, he's still an athlete at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Still a legit athlete, man.
Yeah. Well, you got to call. So, hey, before we go, you called some Jays games. Like, this team since late May has been on an absolute heater. They've been the best hitting team in baseball. And are you surprised at all that easy's probably unfair, but man, they have really controlled much of this series against the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think, what it comes down to, it actually makes me happy as a neutral observer, because I will root for a style of play. And the Blue Jays and the Brewers, the Tigers to a certain extent this year brought back the idea of contact hitting and situational hitting and fundamentals of the game. And I think you're seeing, in this series, when you can put pressure on a defense, what happened in Game 5 of the World Series, right? The Dodgers starting to crack under that pressure a little bit. So I'm rooting for that style to succeed a bit, and it just happens to be that the Blue Jays are playing that. in the World Series. But I'm happy for John Schneider. You root for good people, and that organization, they've done a lot of good things. And we were there not soon after they swept the Yankees, and it just, you could see the whole vibe shift and the true beliefs start to come in that, okay, we are that good, and it's been so much fun to watch.
You mentioned style of play, Alex, and the Rangers, I think it's fair to say that they haven't reached where they want. Defensively, they're infinitely better than they were last year. I don't think you've called the games. You probably would agree with that. But offensively, they're not where they want to be at all when it comes to production. They're 31st in goals. I know that, they're a little bit below expected on goals. They should be scoring more a little bit. But do they miss Trocheck this much?
Yeah. I mean, there's such a knock-on effect when he's not in the lineup. Last year was a down year for him, and he still had 26 goals. And here's a guy who's, I think, got flown under the radar in terms of his offensive production. Up until last year, he had increased his goal total each of the last 4 years. Here's a guy who contributed big time on the power play. He takes big, end zone faceoffs for you. He puts Zibanejad. They wanted to have Zibanejad start the season on the wing. Now Zibanejad's playing center again. So there's this knock-on effect by not having him in the lineup, and you've got guys slotted in places that they shouldn't be. That said, the Rangers have not done a good job finishing, and I think Mike Sullivan will be the first person to tell you that. Any of the guys in that room will be happy to tell you that they're just not doing a good enough job finishing the chances they're creating. But I think they'd rather be in a place where they're leaning on the structure of their game and making sure that the details are there first, knowing that they have enough skill there to put the finishing touch on it. And they believe that will come. It has to. They still have to get the results. They still have to produce at the end of the day, but they'd rather be focusing on the details of the game first. So I think in their most recent game, you saw an example of that.
Well, yeah, they didn't give up. Well, both, you look at the game against Edmonton earlier this year, they only gave up 3 high danger chances. They only gave up 3 high danger chances last night, in Vancouver. Unfortunately for them against Edmonton, they didn't score any goals, right? Stuart Skinner, who for whatever reason, some of his best games come against the Rangers. And, you look at it tonight, the Rangers, Edmonton seemingly is starting to kind of come out of their offensive funk. They were not creating very much at all. Offensively. So you look at the matchups tonight. I know they're on the road. You're never going to get the matchups you want, but is it really Gavrikov and Fox that they're going to try to do a lot of McDavid, or and if it's not, who do you think would be the other pair that splits the time against McDavid?
Well, I mean, I would think it's going to be your top shutdown guys. Susie has, I think, been much better this year than when he was first in New York last season. He and Will Borgen have been a pretty sturdy pair. So I'd probably say it's between those two. And then, you'll get Schneider and Vakanainen perhaps to jump up in the rush a little bit more. Not that Fox is afraid to do that at any point, but I think they're going to lean on, if I had to guess, those two pairs a little bit more. Listen, I mean, as you talked about, the Rangers did a good job of shutting down the big boys from the Oilers in the first meeting of the season. I think that game was in large part a template for how the Rangers want to win games this year. This is not the Rangers team the last few years where, they would be up and down and playing high event hockey. They want to play lower scoring games. They're more than happy, the coaching staff is, to do that. It's hard to, take a team that's played with a certain identity for so long and change it as they have. But I think you're seeing glimpses of it. It's now just a question of, can they do it consistently, and can they put the puck in the net just enough to win games, when they're lower scoring. The Rangers are 3-0-1 when they're scoring 3 or more goals. Problem is, in all the other games, they're 1-5-1. So the equation for them is pretty simple.
Yeah, well, yeah, that seems fair. Now, is Panarin the one who misses Panarin's a really good player. Like, obviously, it helps to have certain players with you, but you look at his production, Alex. What's gone wrong for him? I know it's only 11 games, but hey, when you're the team's best player, you know what? There comes a lot of responsibility to score, and his offensive numbers aren't where they want it to be. What's been lacking in his game?
Yeah, it's hard to put a finger on it, because I think you're right that Trocheck being out has a part to play in it. I was looking up, just doing a deep dive into his numbers this afternoon, And, 7 points on the season in 11 games, that jumps out off the page, just right away. But just 2 of those points have come on the power play, and he doesn't have a power play goal. I think that's where Trocheck comes into it, because when the Rangers' power play is clicking in the last few years, they've leaned on it heavily to win games. And, they're only, 14% on the man advantage to start this season, near the bottom of the league. So I think there's another example of where Trocheck being out has made an impact. But I think you're also starting to, see with Panarin that he's pressing a little bit. And he went on he was in a drought to start the season. And when he finally got his first goal of the year in Montreal, he admitted after the game, like, man, that was a big relief. When the team is not scoring, I think it's human nature, when you're one of the most skilled players in the league, to want to do more. And you can see it sometimes trying to do a little bit too much. And I think in a deep dive, probably he would tell you that, man, if I had to do that over, I'd probably do it differently. But it's human nature to want to do that when your team needs a goal. And that's where the Rangers are at right now, is they're not getting a lot of production out of their top guys, and maybe a couple of them are pressing.
Alex Faust joins us. You look out, the truth of the matter is, it's the NHL is hard and it's tough. And for the Rangers, you mentioned how they like how they're playing defensively. They're getting that structure down, but you got to find ways to stay close. The good news is, they're only 2 points out of the playoffs, right? It is ultra tight in the East. And so while they're finding their game, it hasn't cost them really that much in the standings. 2 points is really nothing. You know what I mean? So is that a benefit? And do you see, in the East, the competitiveness really, I think it's the Islanders, and they played fewer games. You look at, it's really, I guess, the Bruins, but everybody else is pretty much a 500 team.
Yeah, there's been no separation, really, not yet, at least. New Jersey's off to a great start. Pittsburgh has surprised a lot of people, right? Carolina, as expected, they're in the top 3 in the Metropolitan Division. I think from that standpoint, there are no real surprises in the Metro, and there's just been no separation yet. So it's still early, and that's the thing. The Rangers have been fortunate enough that even though they have struggled to score the second fewest goals in the league, and they're still 1 game under 500, and they've already shown, they already have taped plenty of it to show, when they pay attention to the details on the defensive side of the puck, they can win games. It's just about an incremental improvement in scoring. That's all they need. It's just at the margins, and this team will be better. So from the standpoint of Rangers fans having frustration early in the season with the team's performance, I think it's justified a bit based on the record and based on the lack of production, especially within the context of the last few years, right? We have been used to the Rangers, at least in this iteration, of them being among the league leaders in scoring. But I think it'll take time, especially under a new coach, playing a new system, to iron out some of the wrinkles here. And the Rangers have at least showed glimpses of what they can be under Mike Sullivan.
Alex, really appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for this. We'll see you down at the rink tonight.
You got it. Sounds good.
There you go. That's Alex Faust, voice of the Rangers. Also, of course, he calls some Yankee games, and was calling the Jays. Hey, the Jays are, hey, man, they're likable. Now, I love it. We got a lot of mathematicians that we're calculating. So we're talking about 24 feet per second. That's what Alejandro Kirk runs for Major League Baseball. Do you know what that is over 100 meters? Cons? Do you know what 24 feet per second equals in 100 meters?
No chance. No.
13.66 seconds.
Okay.
Most people can't run 15 seconds, 100 meters. Right? Honestly, especially the average guy who's 40 years of age. Now, you might when you were 16 or 17. And I think it's always a good reminder when you see Alejandro Kirk, are there average guys who could outrun him? 100%, right? Body type, everything. But 13.66 for 100 meters, that's really quick for the average guy. We could do, because we've talked about this, and I still want to do it. I've talked with Jeff Woods. I want to set up a sports 1440 Olympics for average guys, because it would be fantastic just to see. Because a lot of us think we're quicker than we are. And that's okay. Like, it makes it fun, right? Like, honestly, Declan Kruger, I know him. He thinks he's the fastest guy in the world. He's like, oh, I could run 13.66. We'll get him and we'll time him this summer. Because I don't think people can run it as much as they think they can. 13.66 is damn fast. So we would see. Do you ever know what your fastest 100-meter time was, Connor Halley?
No. I can tell you, I did go to city championships in junior high for, I was part of the 4x100 and the high jump. Me making it as the high jumper, pretty weird, but that was the state of Edmonton public, I suppose. I couldn't tell you, but I will say about 10 years ago, my friends and I did a 100-meter race and we recorded it. Like, we had video at the end because we thought it might be close. It's humbling, man. Like, you see how good these sprinters look, and then you see 3 30-year-old dudes running down the street. Like, I was like, oh, that's what I look like when I'm running full speed. Not a good look. So I'm never going to be someone that bashes Alejandro Kirk. That's my guy. I'll support Captain Kirk till the end. But no, I could not tell you my best 100-meter. Probably not in Kirk's category.
Yeah, I'd be curious. How many of our listeners just text in right now and tell us how many of you think you could do it in 13.66 seconds. Now, we don't have to be 40-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Come on. Kirk's, I think, what is Alejandro Kirk? Is he 27? Cons? How old's Kirk?
26.
26.
He's got one more week till he's 27.
Okay, so he's 27. He'll be 27. All right, it's his 27-year-old year. So any of our 20-year-old listeners, how many of you can run 100 meters in 13.66 seconds? So we'll see.
I think Declan could. I am on Team Declan for this one.
You think he can run 13.66?
He's out there grinding all the time. Yeah, I would put money that Declan could do it.
All right. Let's see. Now, can he run the bases? Because you got to turn. It's not a straight line. It's a little bit different, right? Running the bases is a little bit of a different skill. It's not just a straight line run. So we might have to time it around the bases. Right? We'd have to measure what's the equivalent. Okay. How many feet? The bases are what? Are they 90 feet apart? I think they are, right? So that's 360. So now we'll even give you from first to, running. We'll start the timer when you round first. So you're at top speed at that point because it is different. Some can do it, but not sure.
Also, just quick shout out to Alejandro Kirk. Like, as a catcher, doing a hell of a job back there.
Oh, buddy, are you kidding me? Yeah, he's a Gold Glove nominee.
Yeah,
he's a really good catcher.
Calling a great game. I think he deserves a little more credit for what he's doing there behind the plate.
So, and like I said, hey, if you guys, we don't even have to do it for 100 meters. I'm just doing what the equivalent is to get up to that speed. And I think he might be quicker than the average. He looks slower because the other guys are faster. But what is he for us? We'll see. Quick break. We'll return. I don't know if our next guest could run. He might be able to drive 24 feet in a second. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how he did in the simulator. Coming up next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for zombie hunters. Those who know their old decrepit furnace passed away years ago. It's decaying husk shuffling around now as the furnace. Legacy Heating will send your undead furnace to its grave, replacing it with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Protect your legacy from the beast in the basement. It's time to destroy the furnace of the dead. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think you just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan. For all your residential water needs, your local water treatment company. More than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Thursday afternoon. It is the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stay right here in the province of Alberta. PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, on Oilers game days, they always have some boosted odds, give you some better odds to win. If you want to pick certain guys score goals, different things, check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, we're on a roll this week. I don't know what the hell's going on, but you got to ride it when it's hot. We are taking the Oilers straight up to win tonight against the New York Rangers in our play of the day at PlayAlberta.ca. Now we get to the Racing Report, brought to you by CanTorque, where we are live as they celebrate their 25th year in business. They got all the tools out. They're hosting clients and customers. Also, the simulator is here if you want to try to see if you know how to drive. We were talking about, can you run faster than Kirk? Well, can you drive? You think, hey, you know what? I'm on the Hyundai right now. I'm on the white one. Man, I'm a sick driver. Well, you got the simulator set up on 11935 146th Street. You can stop in anytime before 6, even afterwards. They'll be here having fun. Check out. We'll see who is the best Sports 14 driver, because a lot of people think we're good at stuff, and maybe not as good as we think we are, which makes it fun. Colin Livingston joins us. Did you do a lap yet, Livingston? How's it work?
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yeah, I'll turn you on.
Yeah, you work the board like some of these guys work the simulator. Yeah, I've done some laps. I probably set too high of a benchmark. I'm going to have to go through and reset it because I don't think anybody's even going to come close. I mean, we had our friend Deli McEwen in there. Deli probably did the best out of everyone so far.
Oh, really? Okay. How did Dave do?
Dave did okay. He walked away and he's like, look at that lap. I don't know when anyone's going to touch it. I said, David, that was my lap. That's the fastest lap. Yours is the one that's 40 seconds slow. He's like, oh, okay, well, make sure Gregor gets distracted before he gets that, because I can't listen to him if he beats me. So no, it's cool. I mean, it's hard to believe that it's been 25 years. It's kind of funny doing radio from my own office. Normally if I do the remote thing, I mean, my desk is just over there, but this is kind of cool to be able to do this for the first time. Part of our CanTorque logo in the background, but man, 25 years, I can tell you, it went by in a heartbeat as well as an eternity.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about it's funny, kind of some off track stuff. Felipe Massa, like, we're going back to the 2008 championship. Like, this is 17 years ago, and he's talking about Renault and their underhanded tactics during the Singapore Grand Prix and stuff like that. What do you make of this?
It's a joke. No, I mean, Massa was the victim of another team's shenanigans. Like, Renault did order their driver, Nelson Piquet Jr., to deliberately crash with the hopes that then teammate Fernando Alonso would be in a better position once the safety car came out to have a shot at the win at the race. But what Massa is saying is that took the win away from him, which if he had the win, then he would have had the points. And if you add those points to what he ended up getting, he would have won the championship. And what is happening in court now, first of all, he's suing for like 65 million pounds, 85 million US dollars in what he's claiming is damages, lost revenue, and sponsorship. But he's also kind of angling to say that he's the rightful winner of that championship, which is complete malarkey. Another word popped to my head. But was he wronged on that day? Yes. Is that also part of racing? Yes. And should Renault have maybe been penalized a little bit more? Maybe, but they were pretty heavily penalized at the end of it. But the fact that he's trying to rewrite history, and there's a lot of quotes that were thrown around saying, like, Lewis Hamilton, who drove for McLaren at the time, he was a victim of that same thing, but he didn't choke on his pit stop like Massa did. Right. Massa, in the pit stop under that safety car, left early, pulled away before the fuel hose was gone, ran over one of his crew guys. Like,
yeah, so
so
he kind of left out some details.
Yeah,
he's got selective memory.
Well, and the problem is, let's just say that things played out the way they played out, and Massa ended up winning that race. Hamilton wouldn't have raced the same way the rest of the year. It would have been a totally different sequence of events. If you're racing from behind versus, being a leader, as we're seeing right now, the pressure gets to people differently. So you can't say how anything would have happened. And you can't just say, like, well, if I would have magically got these points, I should be the champion. So I think Massa is going to come out looking very foolish at the end of this. I mean, he already basically does. I can see why he's, pissed off, and I can see why they would maybe want to, advocate for, again, it's 17 years ago. So the governing bodies changed, regulations have changed. This kind of stuff wouldn't happen anymore, but it's all pretty silly.
Yeah. Now, Mexico never disappoints, and what it led to was now the race is even tighter. Right, Norris and Piastri. I don't know if it all but eliminates Max, but pretty close to eliminating him. But Norris now he's got the lead by 1 point. Him and Piastri. Like, I'm trying to think the last time the race was this tight between two teammates.
It's between two teammates was probably when Alonso and Hamilton were at it, just off the top of my head at McLaren.
Okay.
There've been championships that were won by a single point. This is far from over. Norris has kind of, he seems to race better from behind than with a lead. But yeah, he absolutely kicked ass all weekend in Mexico. Took the pole by 4/10, had the second largest margin of victory in the new regulation. So yeah, he had a great weekend. But the interesting part was, like, how many battles there were in the field. Like, Max again took advantage of the rules, like just blew through turn one. Excellent car control, not to drive the car when he was in the grass into the fence, but didn't get a penalty for what he should have been penalized for leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
Yes.
Even though he kind of pulled back where he sort of was in the grid, if he had stayed on track with the herd of people coming, he decided to pull to the outside in a right-hand corner, pulled it to 4 wide, knew if he slowed down to slot back in, he would have pulled in like 10th, 12th, or would have been destroyed. He chose to get to the grass and didn't get penalized for it, which was a joke. Later on, he basically ran Lewis off the track. Lewis did the exact same thing 2 laps later.
And Lewis got penalized.
Got a 10-second penalty. So that was interesting. George Russell just whining and screaming on the radio about how he had a lot more pace than Kimi Antonelli, and he was following Kimi. They were behind Berman. Like, we need to swap. We need to swap. We need to swap. They swapped the cars. Made 0 gains on Bierman, and then they made him go back and say la vie, but all
it's a great case because we were talking about it earlier. A lot of times you think you'll do better, and then you get the opportunity and you don't do any better. Oh, you know what? I think I could outrun Alejandro Kirk. I could outskate this guy. I can hit a baseball. Like there's Uncle Rico, right? I throw a football over the moon. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But so they're in a race, and it's funny. Like, a lot of us, and you do need to believe you're capable of more if you want to actually do more. So I understand why he thinks, hey, if I get ahead of him, I'm going to be better. But clearly he was wrong in that moment. I like that they pulled it back because Antonelli's actually come on here pretty good. I think he's had a really good year for Mercedes. Even Berman's, you know what? That guy, he continues to impress me.
In a car that's not really
that competitive.
No. Ocon isn't putting together the finishes like, Berman is. But what was funny is that even after they did exactly what George asked him to do, after the race, he said, first of all, he was complaining about the way that the officials ran the race, which justified. But then he said, well, yeah, my tires got hot, my engine got hot, and, I wasn't able to take advantage of the pace I had. It's like, then why were his engineer was screaming at him saying, George, if you can pass him, but your tires are already critical and your engine's already critical. Like, get it done or back off, because he's like, well, I've got a McLaren on my ass, and do you want me to just wave him by? They're like, no, thank you. So they're telling him to hold his position, but they're telling him to back off. But it was very entertaining to listen to that level of shenanigans. And then all the people, if there's a bunch of people who are really critical of the virtual safety car that happened when Carlos Sainz pulled off. First of all, most people didn't see what happened. His car basically caught on fire.
Yeah.
It wasn't caught on the broadcast, but the problem was they put out the VSC because they knew that they were going to have to send officials out to deal with the fire. It seems like the fire extinguished itself, but that's a chance you can't take. So, everyone's saying, well, the car wasn't in the way. The car wasn't in the way. It's not about whether the car was an immediate danger to the guys on the track. It was so that the officials could get there and deal with the fire. Like earlier in the race, they didn't show it on the broadcast either, but Liam Lawson came around turn 1 and there were 2 officials running across the track. He just about hit these guys.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was under, there was a yellow waving in turn 1. He was doing what he was supposed to, but there should have been a double waved yellow to say hey, there's an immediate danger. And these guys just arbitrarily running across the track, picking up debris, scary, scary stuff.
Yeah, it is. Now, for anybody, give me your tips. They come in and they want to drive the simulator. What's the tips to survive and have the fastest and have close to a fast lap?
Okay. There's at least 2. I'm going to say 2, but there might be 3. 1, start slow until you learn the track.
Okay.
2, listen to what you're being told, which nobody does, because we'll say, do this, do that. And everyone goes, yeah, no problem. And then they go do the exact opposite. Okay. So, in the simulator, it's fun. Nobody gets hurt. There's no damage.
There's a lot of crashes, but there's no damage.
A lot of crashes. There's no damage that you have to pay for, I should say. You're not going to get hurt. Yeah, it's just a little bit of fun. I'll correct the address you gave earlier.
Yeah, it's 146
35 119.
Yeah, I had it backwards. 119. I had the street and the avenue right. Just the 35 goes behind the 46.
That's right.
So 146.
If you got to 146th Street and 119th Ave,
yeah, you'll figure it out. You can't miss it. And so stop in. What time are you guys here till tonight?
We'll be here till at least 6.
At least 6, probably longer is what I'm telling me. So stop in. Let's see who of our Sports 1440 listeners is the best driver. Some of you think you're the best runner. We'll see who's the best
13
driver
seconds
today.
isn't that fast. I could go faster than that.
Yeah, maybe in a car. Awesome. Thanks, Colin. Have a good one.
Man.
It's Colin Livingston in the Race Report. We are live at CanTorque as they celebrate their 25th anniversary. Let's get to the Con Man, a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. It's coming, unfortunately, winter. You need winter tires? Well, guess what? 15% off all winter tires right now. Find the ones for you, fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers taking on the New York Rangers down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with myself, Landon Ferraro, and Donovan Paulson gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, you got the Bruins taking on the Sabres, Sens hosting the Flames, Preds in Philly, Canucks taking on the Blues, Wild and Penguins, Blackhawks in Winnipeg, and the Devils taking on the San Jose Sharks. In the NFL, Week 9 kicks off with the Dolphins hosting the Ravens. That'll get going at 6:15 with Lamar Jackson making his return to the Ravens lineup. And in the association, Hornets host the Magic, Warriors in Milwaukee, Thunder take on the Wizards, and the Heat up against Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs. Coming up in Hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear another edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning, ask 5 questions, and be joined by ESPN's Arda Okal. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops.
He's so
Get
nice. Well, he looks like a really nice
wings,
boy.
$5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light.
Online gambling website.
Play, score, and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action
Sports
this hockey
1440
season. See the menu online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Sports
I'm
1440.
Prince Bay for Legacy Heating and Cooling. If you need a furnace this Halloween, it'd be a great
Sports 14.
mistake not to.
Call Legacy.
Need repair? Revamp
Sports 1440.
Legacy has a skeleton of furnaces in stock.
Welcome back. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite texts. We are live at CanTorque.
When you buy with Legacy Heating and
Welcome back. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite texts. We are live.
Even a lucky game.
We are live.
But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk, or style game.
Gregor Show on Sports.
We're on a little roll this week.
Score big.
We're on this.
Hey, we're on a
blast. Sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
When pumpkins glow and night turns chill, there's one fall treat that fits the bill.
We're on a little roll this week. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Pattern. Thin golden crust, though cheesy and tasty. Get yours now. Better be hasty. It's only around for a limited time for a spooktacular price, $17.99. Better ingredients, better pizza. Yes, it's true. Papa John's Jack-o'-lantern Pizza is coming for you. Spookily and proudly locally owned and operated.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Also to Oilers Nation, YouTube as well. We very much appreciate you spending some time with us this afternoon. Lots of excitement on the Jays. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the New York Rangers tonight. And, man, Game 6 tomorrow for the chance to win the World Series. We'll have lots of baseball chatter tomorrow on the show. It's going to be Gosman versus Yamamoto. Whew, what a performance that's going to be. Like, it's crazy. After the start of Game 5, like, Game 6 is going to seem anticlimactic. You're not going to have 2 home runs in the first 3 swings, man. It's not going to happen. It's never happened ever in the history of MLB where the first 2 batters went back to back. It was an electric start if you're a Jays fan, and if you're a Dodgers fan, man, was it was like stunned silence in LA last night. It was awesome to watch. It's great theater, and that's what this series has mean for sure. And I think the Jays are a very likable team. They're a very likable team. They're personal. Now, you might not like the organization, might not like them. That's fine. But I think just as a group, collectively as players, they're very much a likable team. Also tonight, I don't know if you knew this, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will tie Ryan Smith for second most games played as a member of the Edmonton Oilers at 971. And he can break that record. He'll move into second place on his own on Saturday. And then only guy left to pass is Kevin Lowe, who played 1,037 games as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. So also tonight, Adam Henrique will get his silver stick. He's played his 1,000th game last Tuesday in Ottawa. And people are wondering, well, why didn't they do it right against Montreal? Well, you got to get the stick made and everything like that. You got to order it in and all those sorts of things. And so can't get it done in 2 days' time. So because you don't know, you can't guess on which game is going to be 1,000. You have to wait till for sure. Okay, is he sick? No, he's in the game. Now it's 1,000. In case people are wondering why it takes a little bit longer. If they would have had a home game last Saturday, let's say they would have played 2 home games rather than just 1. I'm guessing it probably would have happened then. But this is the next home game after the one they had last Thursday, in case you're wondering. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440 is where you can text us in our eWell inbox, or we're going to get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. We got Arda Okel as well, talking all things NHL. But first, let's get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from at their 69 locations. If you're looking for a great deal on virtually any type of car that you want, you can get it at goauto.ca. And Adam Henrique, about playing tonight, hopefully to continue off how they played in the last 2 periods against Utah.
Effort night in, night out. And, we
got to get that set up. There's some reverberate.
Satisfied with the game, and I think you get some of those nights you play great, you don't get the result, but that the game is there. So that's something that we have to find and be consistent with.
It's quite the reverberation, Con man. What's going on there?
We just had to make a quick switch, but it's good from here on out.
Okay. Henrique was asked about the what changed after the first intermission, because it was almost like a tale of 2 stories. The Oilers were not very good at all in the first, and then found their game in the second and third.
Yeah, I don't know if just playing fast and simple, I think. And I think when you break games down, when you just get back to the more of the basics, then things tend to click. And I think we found that there, and we've talked about it before and talked about it in the room, especially after the first, what we needed to do. And we did it right from that first shift in that second period, and it just continued on. So, you could feel it on the ice too, how the game shifted, I think. And I think for us, if we consistently just play fast and simple, then that's, right to our strength.
And tonight, did you know Adam Henrique will be the first Oiler to ever receive a silver stick? He's the first player to ever play his 1,000th game as a member of the Oilers, right? Kevin Lowe did play 1,000 games for the Oilers, but it wasn't his 1,000th game because he played in Edmonton, then he left, I think at like 900 and some, and then he left. And when he returned his second tour of duty later after spending many years with the Rangers, that's when he got to game 1,037 with the Oilers, but never played his 1,000th game in Edmonton. So tonight will be the first ever silver stick ceremony. And what does that mean to Henrique?
Yeah, again, you keep saying that, it doesn't seem real. Feels like the birthday that doesn't end here. It's just been great, but very special, very, very honored to be the first Oiler to do it. And one of those things that I really had nothing to do with, it just happened to be that guy. And but it's something that's pretty special. This organization's been amazing to me and my family since I've been here, and it's certainly something I'm very proud of.
And he's played with Savoy. He's played a lot with Ike Howard, especially lately. And, the responsibility to help them out. How does he do it?
I mean, I think it's always there. There's always guys that have maybe less experience, but you just try to help lead. Don't overwhelm. Just try to get to talk to the guys you're playing on the line. Even if you're not, maybe what you see and how you can teach and bring those guys along as quick as possible. So I think they've all done a great job learning pretty quickly through training camp, through early parts of the season. And then there are certain things that you just can't teach. You kind of have to go through, I think, as a young player. The schedule is grueling and it's tough. And I think that's something you just have to kind of learn to deal with and best deal with as an individual. So, I think we got a lot of great leaders in that locker room, played a lot of hockey games, and there's a lot of knowledge to pass on to those young guys.
Yeah, there is a lot of it. So it's good. The other thing about the Oilers is they're going to go with 11-7. No lineup changes tonight for the Edmonton Oilers from their victory against Utah. So Philp and Curtis Lazar, the two healthy scratches. Hyman's still on LTIR. Kapanen's on IR. Regula's on IR. Janmark's on IR. Now, Janmark and Regula did skate today. Regula's been skating for a while, so he's a maybe for Saturday. They don't know for sure where he's at, but because you can't tell. You think he's getting better, but still, until you get cleared by the doctor, you can't play. It's just that simple. And we'll get to Coach Knobloch in a bit, his comments on, well, actually, I want to start with his comments just on what he would like to see from his team tonight in quicker starts.
I would like to see us score the first goal. It's great having strong pushes in the second and third period, but I would like us to have a lead and be able to play some good defensive hockey and not allow the other team to have a push. So I think it's very important that we get off to a good start, and what it is, I'm not sure. I think the other night, looking at it, there's some things that needed to be better. We did have some chances, but we made some big mistakes, and we just have to try and eliminate those.
Yeah. Well, hey, eliminate the key mistakes. And hey, remember, I don't know, many of you noticed, did you notice that Darnell Nurse quietly got benched in that game against Utah? He didn't play in the first 6 minutes of the second period. Now, I know people's like, it's not that long. 2 shifts, it's a pretty long time. It's like, hey, here's a reset, man. Get back on track. He did it to Draisaitl last season. Now he's doing it to his another associate captain. Right? It's a good sign, man. Eventually, you got, if you look at Nurse, especially the first one, you have the puck, just handle the puck. There's no reason to keep mishandling the puck. Calm yourself down. Make the simple play. That's it. Play within yourself. When you play within yourself, you've got a lot of great abilities. When you don't, problems arise. It's that simple. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Of course, Cam was born with cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair, and his disability didn't allow him to be on radio. He's wanted to until now. Through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
3 words, friends. That's it. Not a sermon, not a symposium. Just 3 humble syllables marching down the corridor of common sense like a line of fourth-liners on a back-to-back in Winnipeg. Now, if you were anywhere near a radio this afternoon, you likely heard Gregor, our own professor of puckology, fastening those broadcast earphones with the ceremony of a surgeon scrubbing in. And today, he had one of those miniature microphone thingies clipped to his lapel, because he was broadcasting on location. Gregor delivered the latest gospel from Coach Chris Knobloch. And it wasn't, as you might expect, a meditation on the merits of candy corn or costume parties. No, sir. It was a simple yearning, voiced like a man who's misplaced his car keys for the 20th time. Can we please score the first goal of a hockey game? For weeks, this proud ensemble of million-dollar musicians has been forced to play catch-up, chasing the game as though it were a rogue shopping cart in a West Edmonton Mall parking lot. But allow me to rewind the tape a moment. Tuesday night, I followed Professor Gregor's hypothesis that Captain Connor McDavid, that elusive comet of ice and oxygen, wasn't shooting enough. So I took up the noble work of research. 20 shifts, 3 periods, 1 curious reporter with a notebook, and too much coffee. The tally? 3 shots. That's it. 1, 2, 3. But, and here's where it turns from arithmetic to poetry. 2 of them found twine. Yes, 1 was into an empty net. But let's not become theologians about it. In the scorebook, all goals are equal. So here we are, hours from the Rangers' visit, with the Oilers once again standing on the edge of possibility. Gregor's got his microphone thingy, thank goodness. 3 words, a philosophy, a prayer, a solution older than Rexall popcorn and simpler than a Gretzky one-timer. Shoot the puck. The 2-minute warning, Professor Gregor, Captain Halley, Governor Kruger, and Janitor Tate. Weekdays, Sports 1440, where hockey meets theology, and the sermon's always 2 minutes long.
Well, hey, Connor, hey, good for him. You know, obviously the first goal is a great give and go between him and Nugent Hopkins. He had no choice. You had to fire it there. And the empty netter, no brainer. Hey, the Oilers have improved on empty nets this year, but you know, hey, it's progress. It's starting the right direction for McDavid, who's never going to be a massive high volume shooter, despite all his skill and speed. It just doesn't come natural to him. So you would just like to hope that he can be around 3.5 shots per game. 4 would be unreal. He's only ever done it once in his career. This is year 11. It's probably unrealistic. Could he do it again once? Yeah, sure. Do I think it's going to become a regular guy who shoots that many times? No, because he's never done it for a decade, and he's still been pretty productive, and it's hard to change kind of who you are as a player, which makes it to me even more impressive about Leon Draisaitl, who's like, you know what? I'm going to become a shooter, because he was never drafted as a shooter. Never been a shooter, but he is a shooter. So there you go. 4:20, quick break. When we return, we got lots more hockey talk. Arda Okel from ESPN will join us. It's the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at CanTorque as they celebrate their 25th anniversary. Got a few new people coming in the simulator. We'll see how you do on the sim. See your driving skills at 14635 119th Avenue.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Fall in the savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf,
GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Since 1971, the Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you can find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, they'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Game-day sauce!
Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Sauce!
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and if you're serious about selling your used RV, then I'm serious about getting you the money you want. You're not the only one who wants to spend the winter in selling mode rather than storage mode, and we're happy to help.
People come to No Bull RV 12 months of the year, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. A used RV is one of a kind, which means when the one you're looking for comes along, customers quickly pounce on it. So if you've outgrown your RV or you're looking to upsize, downsize, or just turn it into cash, come see us at No Bull RV.
You have to be serious about selling, though, right, Rick?
Better believe it, Bob. This is for people who truly want their RV gone. If we're going to store your RV for free all winter, it has to be priced to sell. And that's why customers come to No Bull 12 months of the year. Because you never know when the perfect used RV is going to arrive. And if it's here, it won't last long.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play, score, and win every game. See more at OnTheRocksYEG.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Floor 26, welcome back. Jason Gregor. Live at CanTorque. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger back at Sports 1440 Studios, as ran in the show, as well as on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's a game day as the Oilers take on the New York Rangers tonight. Oilers looking to continue to get points at home. They are 3-0-1 on home ice so far this season, taking on the Rangers, who are the second lowest scoring team in the National Hockey League. Go to playalberta.ca, and Oilers over the Rangers today is our pick of the day. Now let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, and you got 12 days left to enjoy the fun, the excitement of Monopoly. Peel like a winner in person and on the app. Only at McDonald's. Double your chances to win some great prizes with Monopoly. And we're going to be joined by Arda Okel, who is a host for ESPN. Of course, they just had the big frenzy 2 nights ago with 16 games. We got 11 games on tap tonight. The Flames are in Ottawa if we're looking for Canadian content. Vancouver is in St. Louis. The Blues 3-6-1, not the start they wanted. And of course, the Oilers are hosting the Rangers. Other games that are interesting, the LA Kings. How about Corey Perry, the ageless wonder, scored his 3rd goal of the season the other day. He is man, he passed some good guys on the all-time scoring list the other day. He's got 451 goals now all time in his career for the guy that they call the Worm. He remember, he got hurt in like a captain skate practice and missed first part of the season, comes back, and now he has 3 goals. He just passed Doug Gilmour and Peter Stastny on the all-time goal-scoring list. He's 1 back of Ron Bindamore. He's going to pass Brindamore, Eric Stahl, Theo Fleury, Alex Delvecchio for sure, and has a chance maybe even to catch Patty LaFontaine before this season is over, which would be kind of wild. Now, Patty LaFontaine obviously played fewer games. His career is cut short due to concussions, but there's a chance for Perry, if he plays another year, that he could finish top 60 in goals scored in the NHL, which is wild. Arda Okel joins us from ESPN, and Arda, the ageless wonder known as Corey Perry, had 19 goals last year, obviously then scored 8 more in the playoffs for the Oilers. He is proof that speed isn't always necessary to succeed in the National Hockey League.
No, and scoring in front of the net and finding your spots and, just being an overall pest on the ice. The longevity is extremely impressive. I think back on that Anaheim Ducks team in 2007, right? Like that was a formidable force, that team. It was a great roster, and they almost got Crosby. Like imagine, I thought about this. We were talking about this the other day because we were doing a whole Crosby Ovechkin thing. Imagine if the Ducks in that year had won the draft lottery or that whatever the system was, and they had been able to get Crosby, and Crosby was on that team. Like it would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it would have been wild. So now looking at we're early on still in the season, but it's 10 games in, and you wonder who's who. Is there an NHL team that you are like, okay, you know what? I thought they were going to be really good, but their first 10 games has given you pause to say, oh, maybe they won't be as good as I
thought? There's a few. I mean, I guess the Tampa Bay Lightning comes to mind. I think that they will settle in, though. I think that they're just bit by some unfortunate circumstances. I do think that they're going to level out. I have a lot more teams that I'm surprised by in a good way than a bad way, honestly. Like the Seattle Kraken have been off to a great start. The Canadiens are rolling. The Devils are like among the top of the league, and the Utah Mammoth are like a wagon. Like the Mammoths were like kind of like a popular, they're going to make the playoffs pick by a lot of hockey pundits to start the season. But man, that top line looks so good right now. And I do feel like they'll be able to sustain those vibes throughout the season. And I think that they end up being a playoff team for sure.
Where do you come out on Detroit?
That is an excellent question. I have been lukewarm on Detroit for the last few years. I mean, as many people have, obviously. I wonder if this is if this is their norm. The young players have definitely stepped up in the first few games for them. They've gotten some decent goaltending here and there to start the year. I still wonder if they're going to sustain this pace. I can see them being contending for a wild card, but I'm still. Let me say this. I'm not completely sold yet on the Red Wings being a playoff team, even though they've had a good start.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sold yet. Like I still look at Tampa Bay. I think is gonna find their way here. I think the Ottawa Senators are still gonna find their way here a little bit. And now the East is super close right now. No, like the only team that I look and say, man, I know they started well, but the Boston Bruins look all sorts of discombobulated for me. Like of all the teams, like even the Islanders are close to a 500 team, right? Like they are. They got 4-4-1. The Boston Bruins are the one team in the East where I'm like, oof, I don't like how that team looks at all.
No, and they could be some serious sellers if this continues at the trade deadline. And I wonder what happens with, I mean, it would be inconceivable at the moment to think of players like David Pastrnak not being on that team. But if this team continues in this way and they are looking at a rebuild, then you got to wonder which, I'm not saying Pastrnak is going to be the guy to leave. I'm just saying which pieces would they be looking at and how will they retool that team, because it doesn't look good in Beantown at the moment. I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's not like they got a ton of pieces that, you know, because the pieces that teams are looking for, they don't really have, like outside of Pastrnak. But I mean, only Charlie McAvoy, I think, can play better than he has early on. But Jeremy Swayman, for the second year in a row, is not off to a good start at all. And it's funny because when he had his great year a few years ago, their team defense wasn't very good. Kevin Woodley outlined how, both him and Allmark that year were the ones who kind of saved Buffalo because Boston. Their defensive structure wasn't great. So, you know what? He's played well before without a good defensive structure. But since then, man, like ever since the holdout, he just hasn't found his game at all.
No, and that's a deal where if this continues for him, that contract is not going to look good on the Boston Bruins. But there's still time. I mean, we could be proven wrong one win streak later, and all of a sudden they're in the mix, and that could change fortunes. But I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't. The vibes do not match that hope for sure. And I just don't. I'm with you. I don't think that we're going to get too much better from Boston this season. We'll see.
Arda Local join. Arda, where do you come out on the Seattle Kraken?
I like what I'm seeing from them so far. I question whether they'll be able to continue where they're going. Like, we're getting some good performances from the likes of Shane Wright, etc. Joey Decord. We're getting some good over performances from certain players. I still don't see them as a playoff team. I see them leveling out. I see them maybe like a December 6 or 7 game losing streak, going 500 for a month, and then falling out of wild card contention. I'm not completely sold on the immediate future of the Seattle Kraken.
What do you make of Marty Necas and the whole, like, Colorado had Rantanen, they didn't want to pay him, then they get Marty Necas, and now Rantanen's making 12, but I had heard that, he would have taken 11 in Colorado, and he got Necas for 11 and a half, or sorry, 13 in Colorado, and they got Necas for 11 and a half. It kind of seems like they might have erred, and now they're like, well, we got to get Marty. Like, I like Marty Necas, but I don't love Marty Necas at 11 and a half or 8 million, especially when I look at his production in the playoffs.
Sure, but he will certainly have the opportunity to prove all of us wrong, because he's going to participate in the postseason, and that depth caliber piece is going to be vitally important, as we know, in the postseason. It's usually the middle six that really power things, if that's where they deploy him in the postseason. So I do think we and the other thing is, though, we also have seen some team friendly deals recently, right? I mean, I'm even taking McDavid out of this. I mean, like Jack Eichel to me is a slight team friendly deal. He could have probably gotten $500,000 or $1 million more elsewhere. I would guess, but 8th year, etc. So I think maybe the number might be a little high for him today, but the potential is there for him to really step up where they need him, especially in the postseason. So I'm not too bearish on that necessarily.
There was lots of pending UFAs that have signed extensions. The two biggest names left are Panarin and Kempe, both in major markets on different sides of the country. Panarin's off to a very slow start, 7 points in 11 games. And without Trocheck, it just hasn't looked very good. What do you think the odds are that he stays in New York? What do you think the odds are Kempe stays in LA?
I think the odds are low for Panarin. If he has a bad season, I could see him being a trade deadline piece. It's quite possible. A lot of teams could certainly use a Panarin in a support role, like a second or even third line role in the postseason. I could see that happening without a doubt. Kempe more likely to stay with the Kings, I would guess, because they very likely are a playoff team. I mean, aren't they already on a collision course with the Oilers for the 5th straight year? I mean, have we not written the script already, Jason? Seems destined to occur again. And by the way, for the math symmetry people out there, this would have to be a 4-3 series win for the Oilers to make it whole, right? 4-3, 4-2, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, right? That's how it would go. Series victories. So for the math symmetry fans out there.
Yeah, well, I think it's funny. Even though Edmonton's won all the series, some Oilers fans are like, "Oh, I'm tired of playing LA." I'm like, "You're tired of winning?" I never understood that one. Like, what? What do you mean you're tired of winning? Like, I get in theory what they mean. Yeah, you don't want to play the same team all the time. I understand it. But you played Dallas 5 years in a row and you only ever won one. I think you'd rather play LA 4 times in a row and win all 4. Just me. I could be wrong on that, but that's kind of how I would view it. The Edmonton Oilers, like I find the Edmonton Oilers of the team that they've been in the Stanley Cup final twice, and people are still like, yeah, but. There's lots of yeah buts for a team that makes it to the Stanley Cup final. And last year really kind of dominated the Western Conference on the way to get there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Like from my 20,000-foot view, obviously you guys are in the trenches every day. I'm trying to keep an eye on all 32 teams, but that I would say is a very accurate assessment of at least how I'm hearing it from my perch, certainly. A lot of the same question marks, slow out of the gates to start the year, probably will ramp up, by December, and Connor McDavid will be doing his Connor McDavid things again, and then they'll have a great postseason run, even make it to the Stanley Cup final again. I don't think we'd be too surprised if that occurred, but then we would have even more conversations, especially with the contract that McDavid signed, if they were to lose in the Cup final for a 3rd straight year. I do think the return of Zach Hyman, hopefully being sooner than later, will be very, very helpful. Connor McDavid, the fact that he had 2 goals against Utah, right? And he had 1 goal before that for the start of the season. Like, that's not sustainable. That's not McDavid at all. So, I mean, I expect him to get back on course. I think we all do.
Well, yeah, if he shoots the puck a little bit more, for sure. The Oilers offense, I think it seems like, for whatever reason, they have a slow start. Matthias Ekholm joked. He said, yeah, but it's the best start we've had since I was here, and for 3 years. So 5-4-2 is good. They take on the Rangers tonight, Arda. And now the Rangers, they're in the East, and I outlined, like, yeah, they're off to kind of a slow start, but they're not out of it. They're only 2 points out of the playoffs. It's very close early on. They haven't dug themselves a deep hole. They got the new coach. It seems that their defensive structure has improved. Do you think they've got the horses offensively, though, to actually score enough to win regularly?
No, early on in the season, they've looked very slow. And a lot of the analysts here have been picking the brains of the analysts here at ESPN, and they've been saying it's likely the biggest culprit is likely the adjustment to the Mike Sullivan system versus what they had previously. So that might take a little bit of time for the players to adjust. But the Rangers also don't really fare well against the Oilers. Like, they've lost the last 4 games in this matchup in regulation. So the Oilers certainly have that advantage, the historical advantage. But in terms of the Rangers, Igor Shesterkin has bailed them out. I mean, as much as he can. Like, he even through the losses, even through the first 3 home games, setting that NHL record for not scoring at home, being shut out 3 straight home games to start a season, he was posting a .960 save percentage.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable, the fact that he was playing so well with the team in front of him, not being able to produce at all. So we'll see what version of the Rangers we get here, but Edmonton, has a real opportunity to be able to feast if they get a lot of chances on Shesterkin.
Yeah, well, Shesterkin obviously is an elite goalie, but it's funny. I looked at Shesterkin's career numbers, the last 4 years. He's like a .917 save percentage, 2.5 goals against, except when he plays the Oilers. He's 1-3. He's got like an .866 save percentage. It's kind of wild. So for whatever reason, the Edmonton Oilers have had his number. And Stuart Skinner, who's 4-0 in his last 4 starts against the Rangers, seems to get up for that, and that happens in small sample sizes for lots of different ones. Arda, before I let you go, I want to get your thoughts on the World Series and what you've seen thus far.
It's been awesome. It's been highly entertaining. I stayed up for all of Game 3. I was very mad at the end of that game because it was like 3 a.m. local time, and I was like, oh, why did I stay up until the 18th inning only for this to happen. Why do we pitch to Freddie Freeman? But you know what? It doesn't matter, Jason. You know why? Because the Jays are up 3-2 in the series. The World Series will be awarded in Toronto either way. But let's go Blue Jays. I'm born and raised in Toronto. Apologies to the Edmonton listeners. But for those that are Blue Jays fans, I join you right now in saying, let's go Blue Jays. I hope to see a parade on Yonge Street for Blue Jays and their fans in the next week.
Well, it should be a wild game tomorrow night, wild atmosphere in Toronto tomorrow night, and pitching duo potentially. We'll see if the Jays can win their first World Series in 32 years. It'll be fun to watch. Arda, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
That's Arda Ocal joining us from ESPN. Come back. We got 5 questions, and we got Specker. We're going to hear from Chris Knobloch, Adam Henrique, and more as the Oilers get set to take on the New York Rangers tonight. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming live at CanTorque.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for zombie hunters. Those who know their old decrepit furnace passed away years ago. Its decaying husk shuffling around now as the furnace. Legacy Heating will send your undead furnace to its grave, replacing it with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Protect your legacy from the beast in the basement. It's time to destroy the furnace of the dead. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, oodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 oodle, noodle, nood, oodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, oodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 oodle, noodle, nood.
Throw a load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Smart, connected, community-driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor. 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for Kids Sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. CanTorque's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at CanTorque.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
447. Welcome back, Gregor. Halley, Sports 1440. Man, this show is flying by. Hope your day is going just as quickly and easily. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, the Daily Grand. Tonight, your chance to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Good luck. God, that'd be nice to win. Just for fun. You know my thoughts. Could win. Just wake up every morning. I'd be in a good mood. $1,000. Ka-ching. Be nice. Very nice. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by the Brick. Hey, you want to know what is nice? The savings right now, 40% off mattresses. You can get $1,000 off furniture, sofas, sectionals, and more at the Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1 tonight. Of course, Oilers taking on the Rangers. Will they make it 2 straight? What's the score going to be? And let's get a bold prediction as well.
Yeah, I think the Oilers will actually win 2 in a row. Bold prediction. Connor McDavid scores 2 games in a row. Has more than 3 shots.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's be positive. Oilers make it 2 straight. I was going to say McDavid multi-goal game, back-to-back is my bold prediction. If you're taking that one, 3-point night for Nuge. Score has to be at least 3 goals then. 4-2 Oilers. No empty netter. After seeing them on the ice, where do the Oilers' new alternate jersey rank for you amongst the others, and did you like them?
I actually liked them better than I saw them, and that's why I was like, I want to wait until I see them in person. I thought they looked pretty crisp. Like the whole, if you want to use a soccer term, the whole kit, I thought from top to bottom was pretty good. But yeah, I quite liked him. Like honestly, I know some people might. I didn't love the McFarland jersey ever. I never liked that logo thing. I understand all the thought process going into it. I just didn't love it. I never loved that color of it. Obviously, I was not a huge fan of the one that they wore at the Heritage Classic. I know it's old school in the brown pants, but I thought that was terrible. So I would put this one right up there. I think. I quite liked it. Like I still like their classic blue and orange one the best, but I actually thought that jersey popped last night quite well, or Tuesday night, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I did enjoy it. I liked it more than the Heritage Classic, the McFarland. It's funny. I have the original McFarland jersey in my Jeep right now. One of my buddies had it at his house for some reason and gave it to me, so I have one with me. I didn't like it as much, even when they put the orange drop in. Not a huge fan. I will put this one a spot below. And I forget what they called it, but when they had the orange pants and the orange shoulders or the white gloves, I enjoyed those ones. So
the white gloves, those were sick. That's a good one.
Yeah. Bit of a different look there. So yeah, I like that one, but I think they did a good job with these once we actually got a chance to see them on the ice. Question number 3 for you. Lots of storylines to choose from, but when you look at the Blue Jays run, what's been your favorite?
That is honestly, like, that's a really hard question. Like you look at, like just look at Addison Barger in the World Series here. He's hitting .471 cons. His OPS is 1 point. It's 1147 for goodness sakes. Like he hit the grand slam like that. I think that the game 1 storyline with the grand slam and everything, and Snell hadn't been hit by anybody, and suddenly the Jays are putting up that many runs on him. And then they did it again in the second game. What's his ERA? I think it's like 7.71 now in this series. So I guess the storyline for me is just how the Jays have lots of guys. Heck, even France gets in and he gets a clutch hit to put in that 4th run. Right now, they didn't need it at the time, but you didn't know it was insurance. So I'm just going to say, to me, how there's lots of different guys making key plays at key times.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun because they get on the biggest stage and all these guys who may have been lesser known, you start to hear their stories. It's pretty cool. I gotta go with either Yesavage or Vlad Guerrero Jr. Like what he's been able to do, elevating his game in the fashion that he has. Obviously, getting lots of love and hate depending on what side you're on it for. The Yankees lose, but I think Vladdy just kind of popping off here has been fun to watch. Question number 4: Thursday Night Football tonight. The Ravens coming to this one. 7.5 point favorites over the Finns down in Miami at PlayAlberta.ca. What would be your pick with the spread? And is there any other prop bet you like?
Lamar playing? He's not, is he?
It looks like he's going to be going.
Lamar is playing. Okay, wow. And like, I'll be honest, I didn't think Miami would do what happened to Atlanta last weekend. So like, this is a really hard game to pick now for me. Lamar's coming back, but God, when Lamar's in, he is so good. So I got to go with the Ravens, and I'll take the Ravens with the points.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that, he's going to be out there ready to go. He's a Miami kid. So being back in Florida, I think big for him. I'll take them to cover the points as well, even though the Finns did look better. And if I'm taking another one here, I'll take Lamar anytime touchdown. So not passing, but I think he'll find a way to hit pay dirt and run one in himself. Final question for you today, Gregor. Today is National Candy Corn Day. In honor of that, what is the worst thing you could get in your bag while trick-or-treating as a kid?
Candy corn. It's awful. Like, it is awful candy. Like, I know it seems like it's more in America, but candy corn's terrible. Close, the black and orange molasses candy. Like, those don't ever hand out those to kids. Like, basically, you're just saying, I hate kids and I don't want them to eat candy.
Yeah,
just give them nothing. Like, those are the worst candies going.
I will agree. Like, great picks right there. I'm with you. One, did you ever get like the people would buy those little Halloween themed Ziploc bags and put their own things in them? Like little.
Yeah, like sometimes they'd have like two little arrows and a Smarties or whatever.
But
I didn't mind those.
Sometimes you'd get like homemade concoctions, like a mix of like pretzels and other things like that. And that was maybe just my neighborhood. I would always throw those right out. But the big one that comes to mind for me, Goodies. Did you ever have those? Twizzlers Goodies?
Oh, buddy, Goodies as a kid. I love Goodies every now and then.
They look so good. They're so colorful and everything. And then black licorice, which I have grown into enjoying in my later years. But yeah, when I was a kid and got the Goodies, no. Straight to either the parents or the garbage with those ones.
Yeah, we have a lot of people texting. It was reverse retros cons.
Oh, yes,
jersey
yes.
You were talking about. So
clean look.
Yeah, cons like that one. But like I would even take that old box, and I actually saw them. They still have it, and it's terrible for you. But that box of pink popcorn that comes with like the white elephant on it, that I would take over the candy. Don't hand out that candy. So I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Now, we have a lot of people. Greg's, what are you doing for Halloween tomorrow? Man, I love Halloween. I can record the Jays game. And honestly, like I'm on the front step, right? Like people are trick-or-treating. The kids aren't going to be caring about the Jays game. It's not like they're running around with their phone. At least I hope not. But they come to the house, they'll be yelling trick-or-treat. Away you go. They hand out the candies. I'll watch the game and probably start it like an hour and a half later. Not the end of the world. So that's what I'll be doing. But I got I went, now I've never been yesterday, Cons. I think I made a mistake. I went to the Costco on 149th Street, just off the Yellowhead Trail.
Mm-hmm.
I went there before the show. And I've never been in that Costco before. I don't think I'll ever go there again. I could not believe how long the lineup was. And I just had boxes of chocolate bars, right? Because I go to Costco and get the chocolate bars. They average out. It's like 75 cents a bar. It's great. And I have all the different variety. I like to have a variety. I've got my table. I set it up. We have close to 200 kids every year. So Halloween's my thing. I like to give out the full-size chocolate bars. I like to give them, I arrange them very nicely on the table. They get to pick which one they want. It's great. And I could not believe how long I waited in line there. And the worst part was they have the two lines. One is the self-checkout, which I wanted. And then the other one was, but people didn't know. People at the end of the line, I'm like, hey, is this a self-checkout? They're like, I'm not really sure. So I got in the wrong line. And so by the time you get up there and you can go left to right, I'm like, well, now it breaks it up, but I don't need a cashier. I can check my 8 boxes of, it was the worst setup. I couldn't believe how many people were there on an afternoon, on a Monday. It was like Wednesday afternoon at 1:00. It was like 30 minutes in line just to get through the cashier. I could not believe it. So I have to say, for those of you that shop at that Costco, you got way more patience than me. I've never waited in line 30 minutes at a Costco in my life in the middle of the day. So brutal. They should have a sign somewhere that says self-checkout, cashier, because the self-checkout's always quicker, right? It always is.
A quick question for you. Just you talked about giving out the full-size bars. Respect that. Ashley bought Takis this year. Does your son enjoy those?
What are those?
I don't even. Honestly, I sampled them at Costco once, and I thought they were the worst thing I've ever had.
How do you spell it?
Takis. And maybe if they were like a better flavor, they might not be so bad, but they were like the spicy ones.
Oh, those are like those chips.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever had them. You know what?
We're giving them out. So I'm curious to see, like, we have those and then like the traditional chips. So I'm kind of curious to see what the kids will prefer.
Well, if you give them their choice, you watch. That's how you know. That's how you know. Like people always, my wife's like, they won't like Big Turk. Big Turk's always one of the top 3 to go. I put them on the table. The kids love it because they got taste. And because it's true, kids have more taste buds, so they know what's good. Big Turk, very, very good. I always feel sorry for people who lack taste buds to really enjoy the scrumptiousness of a Big Turk. It's that's when I can tell that you're missing out on life when you don't have the taste buds to enjoy it. It's unfortunate. So I made sure I've got my Big Turk pile, got a lot of other, and I keep track on because I like to know what the kids. I can always tell. If one chocolate bar, whichever one is the least moving, it gets knocked off the list for the next year. Got to give the kids what they want. I'm a big believer in it.
What got knocked off last year?
The Hershey, because they have the Hershey cookies and cream, but then there's the other Hershey brown one. It's kind of brown and yellow with the nuts. No, that was a no-go. That was like, the kid looked at it like, did I lose? Why am I taking this near the end of the night? So that's the one where I was like, no. It's a no-go. You're out.
Was it fruit and nut? Was that the one?
I don't even know if it's fruit. I have to look it up. I just know which one it is. It was the brown and yellow bar. I don't forget it. But what's it? Cookies and cream is very popular. It is. God, I don't even know. I have to look up the proper name of it. But it's not good, Cons. I've never seen any. Or I kind of got it in a pack, and it's the whole almonds bar. Nope, brutal. Like,
Never again.
Never again. Loser. You're out. So you know what? It's going to get hard now. If they all go pretty evenly, then I don't have to get rid of one. But each year for the last few years, I've ended up getting rid of one where I'm like, the kids aren't liking it. They don't like it at all. Coffee Crisp, telling you, it's on the cusp. It's like in a guillotine league of chocolate bars, Cons. That's how I look at it. Coffee Crisp. Last year, it's close. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes, but it might be off. Now, I'm biased because I don't really love Coffee Crisp, but a lot of people do. But the kids, that's what I for. I go on the average. You got 200 kids. That's a pretty good test group to go through. But easily, like this year, I bought even more cookies and cream because they sell out. They go out. Well, not sell out. I'm not selling them. Them and Big Turk have been my 2 best. So the kids in St. Albert, they got good taste buds. So they like the Big Turk. When we come back, Mark Spector, God, he's so old. I don't even know if he has taste buds left, but he'll join us after Connor Halley in a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. Now, you got good taste buds. You're going to love Loca. 2 locations, Sherwood Park and Edmonton. They've got over 200 pre-made chef meals for you. Makes it easier. All the healthy options. Got a bakery, rotisserie, everything you need in one stop. Loca.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. The Oilers in action, hosting the New York Rangers down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage with myself, Landon Ferraro, and Donovan Paulson gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Bruins host the Sabres. Got the Flames in our nation's capital, taking on the Sens. Lightning Stars. Preds meet the Flyers. Hurricanes host the Islanders. Canucks in St. Louis. Wild Penguins. Jets and the Blackhawks. Devils in San Jose, and the Kings hosting the Red Wings. In the NFL, Week 9 kicks off with the Dolphins hosting the Baltimore Ravens as Lamar Jackson makes his return to the lineup. Down gets going at 6:15. And in the association, the Magic in Charlotte. Bucks host the Warriors. Wizards up against the undefeated Thunder. And the Spurs take on the Miami Heat. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and hear from members of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Since 1971, The Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, we'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Sunday at 2, load the stands at Rogers Place because your Edmonton Oil Kings face off against the Swift Current Broncos for United Against Cancer Day.
Raise awareness and unite in the fight against cancer.
There will be a game used stick and alumni jersey auction benefiting Sorrentino's Compassion House. Plus, fans in attendance will be given signs where they can write who they fight for as we stand against cancer. Oil Kings, Broncos, United Against Cancer, Sunday at 2.
Great family entertainment at Rogers Place starts at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
More fruit?
Check.
Satisfying texture?
Check.
3 amazing new recipes?
Check, check, check.
Let Booster Juice bowl you over with something completely different. 3 new acai bowls, loaded with delicious toppings including bee pollen, cacao nibs, and shredded coconut. Piled high on top of a refreshing blend of authentic acai, straight from Brazil. Spoon?
Check.
Booster Juice, Canada's original juice and acai bowl bar.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution.
Getting home, getting set to watch the Oilers take on the New York Rangers. Maybe doing some last-minute stops. I've always been a big fan of the stop in to get your Halloween food the few days before Halloween. Prices always go down a bit. Just a little tip for you. Check it out. There you go. We are live at CanTorque, where they are celebrating their 25th year. And we got many on the text line who are confident that they can post the fastest time in the simulator. Well, put your time where your mouth is. Get down here, 14635 119th Avenue, and see. Last I just checked. Steve currently has the fast time. Well, excluding Livingston, he doesn't count. He races, and he's raced on it before. But Steve, I think, had the fastest time. Although there's a few guys racing it right now, so we'll see where they go from there. So sometimes good, sometimes E for effort, right? If there was a participation ribbon, some of you wouldn't even get one. Okay. That's okay. We'll see. It's harder than it looks. I can tell you that. It is harder than it looks. We all want to drive fast until there's a corner, and then suddenly you're not in control. The good news is the only damage is to your ego. There's no physical damage. No one gets hurt on the simulator. So come check it out. at 14635 119th Avenue. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. Use the promo code when you make a $50 deposit. Use the promo code Gregor50, and they'll match it. You'll get an extra $50, 2 for 1. Good deal. PlayAlberta.ca. As we're going to get to the spec report now, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. Pride of Stony Plain, Tarrant-Sandwith. Wishing everybody at CanTorque a happy 25th anniversary from GS Construction. As we welcome in to the show, Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. And Spec, we'll get to the orders in a second, but man, what a game last night. What a start to the, like, you literally cannot get a better start than that by any team. No teams ever in the history of MLB went back-to-back jacks to start a game. 2 home runs on 3 pitches. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I if I didn't have we all kind of have a dog in the fight. Like, I'll admit it. I don't cheer for the Oilers because I cover the team, but I don't cover baseball, and I love my Cubs. And I got to say, I'm cheering for the Blue Jays here. So let's make that straight. But if I was looking at this thing completely objectively, I would look at those 2 teams, and I would say to you that I'm starting to think the Blue Jays have a better team. If a bunch of guys in LA start hitting, well, maybe it changes. But right now, the way they're playing, Mookie Betts, the way he's hitting the ball, I don't care if he's going to the Hall of Fame. He ain't helping that team win whatsoever. The Blue Jays are getting it from everywhere. They're getting long balls from the guys they're supposed to get it from. They're getting singles and doubles from the other guys. Their pitching staff is rising to the occasion. Yesavage, we weren't sure which way he was going to go in the World Series. Well, it turns out he put in an absolutely historic start, and he was unreal, and the Dodgers simply couldn't handle him. So there's guys in the Blue Jays going north. There's guys in the Dodgers going south. I like the Blue Jays team better right now, don't you?
Oh, God. Well, you look, like you mentioned Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts has got, he's batting 130. right now. He's got 3 hits and 23 at bats. No extra base hits. Tommy Edman, Max Muncy. I know that Hernandez did hit a home run last night, but he's only got 4 hits. Like they're not getting much at all. Like Bo Bichette comes in on 1 leg and he's hitting 313.
Right.
Like now he's listed as no doubles, but he would have at least 2 or 3 doubles if he was normally being able to run. Right. Like, because he's hit it to the wall. He's just not running. Can't run. So he's out there on 1 leg and he's contributing more than half of their starting batters on the Dodgers. And, that's last night, Trey Yesavage, he struck out everybody on their team, at least once.
Every single guy.
Yeah, every single guy, man. Like, that is hard to do. And he struck out Ohtani twice and, struck out the big guy who had the home run, Freddie Freeman, twice. Like, it was a memorable performance that you've never seen before. Like, in the first 2 innings, he struck out batter 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. For goodness sake, struck out the side in the second inning, and you're just like, oh my God, like this kid he's unreal right now. And like Blake Snell spec, like they had the stat. So he had 393 pitches in the playoffs. He given up 1 home run. Then he gave up 2 home runs on 3 pitches to start the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like wild. So it was, and it's Davis Schneider's spec. Like people were, what the hell is Davis Schneider hitting leadoff for? Well, he gets, give guys opportunity. And I'll give John Schneider a lot of credit, man. Like pretty much the only one you'd say is, why did he take Barger out early in an 18-inning game that we didn't know was going to go 18 innings? Every other decision he's made has worked out incredibly well. And like all the guys like, Hoffman, you'll never win. Hoffman's been unreal the entire postseason.
Yep. He's stuck with Hoffman. He's stuck with Scherzer. Scherzer's delivered a couple of really good starts when we all thought down the stretch, oh my God, this guy might be done. Listen, managers make, I don't know what the number is of decisions in a game. Do they make 100 decisions? I don't know. They make a ton of them in setting their lineup before the game. Then during the game, the possibility of pinch hitting, of pinch running, of moving a guy over. Do I bunt? Do I not bunt? They make 100 decisions. And we all look at them in hindsight and go, oh, what an idiot. He made the wrong decision. Yeah, great. What were you saying in that 30 seconds or less that Schneider had to make his mind up? And what was your call, right? Like I said this to Kevin this morning, I don't mind repeating myself. you got to look down on the job this guy's done from 30,000 feet. Don't look at it from, oh, he should have left Barger in. Okay, he should have left Barger in, right? Okay. He also put a team together and managed a team to the best record in the American League this season. He managed a team that beat the mighty Yankees, then beat Seattle, came from behind in that series, and now has the upper hand on LA. Anyone who's complaining about the job that Schneider's doing, give your head a shake. Is there a better guy out there? How much better could he be right now? We're 5 games in the World Series. He's going home with a 3-2 lead. Should they somehow be better than this? Should they have swept the Dodgers? I mean, come on. It's the freaking Dodgers. They're the best, most expensive team in baseball, and you're beating them. What are we complaining about here when it comes to anything, frankly, in the Toronto Blue Jays orbit right now?
And really not just beating them, they're spanking them. The runs are 29-18. Like the Jays wins have not been close. And, the Dodgers needed 18 innings to get one of their victories. So, give the Jays full marks. Now, they got Yamamoto tomorrow, and Yamamoto was obviously unbelievable in game 2. But I'll say this about the Jays hitters, like they seem to figure it out, right? Like they looked, okay, you know what, Blake Snell, we're going to go after him. And they went after him right away. And he still pitched pretty well if you look at the after, but 2 home runs, that was the difference. They only scored 1 run. Like you can argue the Jays won the game in the first inning.
Well, I mean, the winning run came in the third pitch of the game. That doesn't happen very often. So listen, I mean, what a fun game to watch if you're a Blue Jays fan. Watching Yesavage pitch was just all you can think of is here's a kid that was in Dunedin this year. Here's a guy that's making $57,000 in a world where the best players make $57 million. It's watching that kid like he
did get a $4 million bonus. This signing bonus this year. Like I don't like the 57K angle. Like let's not feel sorry.
I love that.
Trey Yesavage $4 million bonus to start the year. Like he's doing okay.
He's doing okay, right?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Anyway, we're gonna watch this kid for years, and history tells us that young guys like this don't stay on the same team their whole career either. Maybe the Blue Jays will keep him. Who knows where it goes? But we all bore witness last night to a historic pitching performance that you might live the rest of your sporting life, folks, and not see something like that again. It was an honor to watch, a pleasure to watch, and the fact that it happened for the team we're all cheering for was that much better. If the guy was pitching for the Minnesota Twins, it would have been awesome. It's even more awesome that he's a Blue Jays pitcher.
The other guy who probably doesn't get enough credit, David Popkins, the hitting coach of the Jays. They've been the best hitting team in baseball. And lots of the players have talked about how he has, he changed a lot of their approach at the plate. Like Varsho couldn't hit in the first 5 games in Seattle. And he's like, Popkins, we work with him 2 games. After that, now Varsho's hitting, right? Like he's done it all year long with guys. Got him to be way more aggressive. Obviously, you have to have the talent to hit the ball, but you got to have an approach from your hitting coach where it's across the lineup. Yeah. And the crazy part is, like, the Jays led the league in hits and average and everything in the regular season. And Vladdy was okay. Like, he wasn't superstar Vladdy. Now he's playing like a superstar in the postseason. It's been unreal. Like, he's out-dueled Aaron Judge. He's out-dueled Cal Raleigh. And he's out-dueled Ohtani. Like, if you look at their numbers head-to-head in the postseason, to me, it's not really that close. Like, other than home runs, that's really the only where you look and say, okay, it's close, because, it's not when you look at all the numbers overall. Like Vladdy, they got the same amount of home runs, but Vladdy's got 12 more hits than Ohtani. Ohtani struck out 22 times. Vladdy struck out 5 times. Ohtani's hitting 250. Vlad's hitting 415. Right?
Wow.
Like he's been better.
He's been better. And you know what? Like, that's how I think we've all watching sports. That's unilateral for me. If my best player is that much better than your best player, I'll bet you I win in football as often as I win in hockey, as often as I win in baseball, right? If my quarterback's way better than yours, I win. If McDavid's that much better than Barkov, I win. And the beauty of the Jays, of course, is they got a whole rest of their lineup that on the nights when Vladdy doesn't win it for him, somebody else does. Somebody else comes through with hits, and that's why they're a team. They're just a good team. They got all the bases covered. all of a sudden their closer is back, right? Their closer's back closing games like crazy. Their starting pitching is excellent. Their middle relief is excellent. The top of their lineups maybe just as good as the bottom of their lineup. Like, I'm looking for a hole here, Jay. I'm looking for a hole right now in the Blue Jays. And frankly, again, let's go back to any sport. When you're in football and your defense is awesome and your offense is awesome and your special teams rule, you win every night. Well, that's what the Blue Jays are doing right now. Everything's working and they're winning most nights.
Yeah. Moving on to the Edmonton Oilers, they take on the New York Rangers tonight. Obviously, the Oilers would love nothing more than to continue their good play at home. They're 3-0-1, should be 4-0 at home ice. They didn't have a great start, and really, they haven't had a great start since their first 3 games. Like, the Oilers started the season 2-0-1, and they should have beat Calgary. They should have been 3-0. Guess what? They scored first in every one of those games. They have scored first once in their last 8 games. They've been playing catch-up way too often. Now, it didn't hurt them last game, but it's a trend that you would like to see change. Their coach even joked about it today. What do you like? Well, I'd like my team to score the first goal. Like, as they said it with a chuckle, but that's one of those chuckles. Like, yes, please.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I mean, the odds are the odds. We talk about sample sizes. The sample size of, does the team that scores first win? I think it's like 60% of the games, or 65. That sample size goes back 50 years. It's a fact. So sure, you're going to come from behind once in a while. You're going to erase a 2-0 deficit now and again. You can't live that way. It can't be every day. So, the quote after the game that I thought was the most telling for me after that Utah game, and they gave you a really good 40 minutes of hockey. The quote for me was when McDavid said, "The win's nice, but the fact that we looked like ourselves and we played well and we found our game, that's way better." Like, that's what's going to last here. Sure, they got the win. That's awesome. But they did look like the Edmonton Oilers. And, who knows? Does it happen again tonight? I'll tell you in 3 hours. But that to me was the main thing. They came at you in waves at even strength, Jay. They came at you with 4 lines. They forechecked you. They had finish. They shot pucks. Like, that's on home ice. That's the Oilers team we've come to know. And I think we finally started to see that team against Utah. So I would think they'll be very disappointed if they don't continue to be that team tonight.
It kind of got overlooked a bit, but Darnell Nurse got the Leon Draisaitl treatment. A little bit of a sitting on the bench to start the second period, and was told he just, quote, needed a reset, which is the polite way of saying, hey, get your head out of your rear end. And you know what? Like, mistakes are going to happen in the game. Giveaways are going to happen in the game, but they can't happen and end up in the back of your net, especially when you're not even pressuring, you have control of the puck. Just relax. And like, Leon Draisaitl got benched last year for grand total of 6 minutes because he had taken 4 penalties in the first 4 games, 2 of them at the end of the regulation, at the end of the period, in the second period. And his team got scored on twice. And guess what? Draisaitl responded, got an assist to tie the game, then scored the game winner. And then he took 1 penalty in his next 33 games. So to me, hey, message sent. Guy, you don't embarrass the player. It's 6 minutes, right? Like, a lot of people didn't even notice. So you're not embarrassing the player, not like putting him in the press box or anything like that, but it's a pretty good message. And I'm going to be curious to see how Nurse responds.
Well, you know what? I think what people forget sometimes is inside the dressing room. Yeah, there's a hierarchy. Yeah, there's a pecking order. Yeah, one of the core guys like Nurse gets a longer leash than Emberson gets. That's just how teams work. But at some point, a coach has to show the rest of his team that even my best guys aren't allowed to run around taking stupid, lazy minor penalties every 5 minutes like Draisaitl was in that little stretch. And the coach sits them down for 6 or 7 minutes. I heard Landon Ferraro on your show earlier, and he said everybody on that bench notices. Don't think that goes by the rest of the team. They don't notice. And at some point, the coach has to say, look, yeah, you're my top minutes guy, Darnell. But that doesn't mean you get to play the first period you just played. And we don't even notice, and there's no repercussion. He does that as much for Darnell Nurse. He does it as much for the rest of the team as he does for Darnell Nurse. And that's a good coach. That's a coach that's got a feel for his room. And I don't, Evan Bouchard's a guy that we all look at and go, how come he doesn't get that more often? Well, you know what? If his game's getting better, but I would think that's another guy that could use a 5-minute break now and again, the way his game's gone so far this year.
Yeah, well, it's funny, Spec, because I thought about it. And now there were 7 defense dress last night, so it's easier, right? Situational stuff does matter. And in the Seattle game, when Bouchard had the 2 giveaways, similar to Nurse, they only had 6 defensemen, and one of them is Jake Wallman. And I was looking at Jake Wallman's ice time, and he's only played 20 minutes once. And I don't think Jake Wallman, because you know what, his injury, he wasn't able to train how he wanted. Then he got banged up. I'm not sure. I think this 7 defenseman is here to maybe, A, if guys aren't playing well now, if you ought to sit down for 5 minutes, we still got 6 defensemen. But B, I don't think Wallman's is at the conditioning level yet, simply because he hasn't played much and he wasn't able to train how he would like. And so I wonder how much that's playing a factor.
Well,
in
it could be
why we're seeing 7 defensemen here.
Yeah, I mean, I always say to you, Jay, that when we critique the team and the coach and the roster and who's playing and who's not, and 11-7 or 12-6, you got to remember that the coach has way more information than we have. He knows that there's a guy in there that's, like I'm thinking about Schneider and the Blue Jays. He pulls Bichette out. A lot of people are saying, why would you take Bichette out of that long game? Well, he probably went into that game and his trainers are saying, don't play Bichette more than 8 innings tonight because his knee's no good, So these are things that the manager knows and that Knobloch knows. We don't know. So, yeah, people say you should be more critical of the coach. The longer I've been in this business, Jay, the more I realize we don't know. And when you talk about 11-7, and maybe it's for a Wallman reason, I'm telling you right now, that's an excellent guess. And there's probably some things going on health-wise we're not that sure of, that he is that sure of.
Yeah, I'll say it's not necessarily a guess, it's a little bit more of an educated guess.
Yay, there you go.
Spec, we will see you at the arena tonight.
All right, sounds good, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Specker, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. Yeah, Wallman's fine. It's just, if your conditioning's not there after coming back up, you have 7 defensemen. Just look at the minutes that the defense played last game, right? It's all down. It wasn't like, obviously, Emberson, unfortunately for him, it goes down a little bit. But if you look at it, it allows to limit some of the minutes for all your guys. Matthias Ekholm hadn't been off to a great start. Bouchard wasn't off to a great start. And if you have that extra guy, it's not a long-term solution, but for short-term, you could say, okay, here's our guys. Bouchard, 8. Like, no one played more than, no one played more than 20 minutes in that game, right? So that helps. And keep in mind, Nurse played 16:49 and he sat out for 6 minutes, which means he probably sat out 2 shifts in that time period, maybe 3, but probably 2. So you look at their shifts, no one had more than 24 shifts. And Stetcher had the fewest at 14, and he's obviously the number 7 defenseman, but he played almost 11 minutes. So I'll be something to monitor. And I think this is a way that you can monitor Wallman, and sometimes he can play 19 or 20 minutes, but knowing that, hey, you know what, maybe I'll get an extra shift to rest. Like, instead of going, ABC, maybe it's like he goes A and then it's BC, A, BC, and then, someone else goes and then he's like a B instead of the A, right? So that one extra 45-second rest in between that can help some guys. Take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get more on the orders as well as the Jays. I want your thoughts on the orders. I think people have calmed down a little bit, which is fine. But I'm curious about the line combinations that you like. Which Oiler forward newcomer have you liked the most and why early on this year? Newcomer that you've liked the most and why? 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll return to the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at CanTorque. They celebrate their 25th anniversary. Congratulations. Calling on everybody here at CanTorque for making it 25 years.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think you just fainted. Impressive.
Players right now.
Feel like a
Find
winner
the ones.
on pack and in app. Monopoly Double Play is
supposed to, but there should have been like a double wave yellow to say like, hey,
chances to win draw prizes depend on the number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes paid while you transfer. See rules in app.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting
That
a
the
new
officials could
industry
get there
standard,
and
celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
The future of
Brought to you
female
by
hockey
Northwest Crane,
is
available
here.
for all your lift.
Season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey
Just
division in
after
Western Canada, with
4
teams
o'clock.
from
Welcome
British
back,
Columbia,
Jason.
Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions. The FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games.
2 minutes
The
long.
14U and
For him.
16U have
You know,
been pioneering
obviously the
advanced
first
body
goal is a great
checking rule, empowering
see your
young
driving
players.
skills.
The Female
It's
Super League, where the
14635.
boost in female hockey takes center ice. Details at
Action speak-
femalsuperleague.com.
From the first face-off to the final whistle, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis,
Online gambling.
and pre- and post-game shows. We bring you
Last
closer
long.
to the game. Tune in 24/7.
Portions of this out for your hockey head.
Edmonton Sports Talk.
Prostate cancer.
Score 26. Welcome back, Jason Gregor.
This November, we're fighting back. Every
Live
dollar
at Cant.
raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the Men in Our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
When it comes to choosing a
The show
hair
presented
clinic,
by
the difference is
PlayAlberta.ca.
in the
Coming live
doctor.
at Cant.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience, and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal
Sure,
goal is
you-
to help other people achieve theirs,
Halley,
you must
Sports
deeply
14.
understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:29. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. So make your way through a Thursday afternoon. There's a big lineup, lots of laughs as people watching the simulator cons. You ever driven on the simulator?
No, I'm not. And I was like talking to Colin a couple of weeks ago, I can swing by after the show.
You should swing by.
But I'm doing pre and post tonight. I'm sitting in for a walker. So I mean, I could just lie and say I'm really good at it, Gregor, but no, I want to. I saw the video you posted. Looked awesome.
Oh, it does look great. Yeah, it's a fantastic. You get that's what it's a simulator. Like you get a real good sense of what it's like. And man, like when you're going that speed, you're just like, oh my god! Like imagine being in a car with all the because the one thing you don't feel the G force that obviously the racers feel when you're going from 300K and then braking and that suddenly you're down to 100. Like that is no joke. But it's I was out there watching a few of the gents drive. Now I got to see my own time. I did it many years ago and it was okay at it. It was definitely not great, not close to Livingston by any stretch, but I do recall beating Struds, which come on, it's kind of that's like a no-brainer in sporting competitions it seems right now, but we'll see. Hey, Greg's curious, what did Noah Philp do to not get some ice time from Dan? Well, it's a good question. I think right now it's okay. They won last game with 11-7. I outlined, I think the defense and the health and everything like that. So that's a factor. I think in Noah Philp's case, I believe he probably should be in the lineup. I wouldn't have a problem with him in the lineup. I like his speed. If there was one thing that I would like to see more from Noah Philp is you sometimes it's the old adage, read the room. What do the Oilers lack? They don't lack goal scoring. They can score. They've been a high scoring team. They've got enough goals. What do they lack, Connor Halley? Like if you're a forward on the Oilers and you're looking to bring something they don't have, what is it?
I want tenacity.
Yeah, and physicality.
Truculence.
They don't have a ton of it. Now, I know it doesn't come natural to Noah Philp, but guess what? There's lots of guys who you can alter your game. And I'm not saying that he has to suddenly be a brawler. I'm not asking him to fight anyone. Although, and I've seen him fight before. He can hold his own. It's not, he's no shrinking violet in that regard. He would be more than comfortable. Like he fought Gertzen, who is a tough dude. Another local guy, by the way. And I saw Phil numerous times. You're coming in, the check's right there, and you don't finish your check. And I'm kind of like, why? Why not do it? Like, you're big, you can skate, got to do it. So that to me is my that's my one kind of if you ask me why he's not in, I think that's why he's not in.
Why do you think that is? Like, I know it maybe not natural to him. I kind of remember this even going back with like, is it Tyler Pitlick? Thinking the same thing. Like, why won't he just throw a hit? Like, why do you think it is so tough for some guys to just kind of change their game in that fashion? Kind of knowing like your NHL career could depend on it.
Yeah, well, it's hard for a lot of people to change your habits in any walk of life, right? Like, hey, you know what? Geez, I'm not healthy. I got to lose some weight. How many people say that for year after year after year and they don't do it? I got to change my eating habits. And we don't do it, even though we know we should do it. We don't do it. So it's never that easy. Like, he's used to playing the same way all the time, and you're just like, hey, I come here and, geez, if I got to finish the check, well, now I'm going to be out of position. Well, not always. So there's guys, and that's why, like, that's why the NHL is hard, right? Like, does Noah Philp have the skill and the speed and the shot to play in the NHL? No question in my mind. And now he's still very young. Like, he's only played 20 games in the NHL. So it's not like, he can't learn it. And maybe this will be a little bit of a reminder to say, hey, no, we just need you to be, more physical. Like I've always said this, you're a young player, man. I'm in the coach's room. I'm asking questions. Okay, what do I need to do when I get back in the lineup to stay in the lineup? You got to know how to word it and ask those questions. I've talked to Ken Hitchcock. I've talked to Dave Tippett. I can go down the list of NHL coaches who said the same thing, man. When a player asks a question, that's what you want. But you got to be prepared for the answer, right? You can't ask a question and that's why some players are scared to ask the question, because they're scared of what the answer might be, right? Hey, why aren't I in the lineup? Well, you're not good at this. Maybe I'm not good enough, right? Well, geez, if I don't ask, then I don't know. And then when I get back in, hopefully maybe I can just stay in and I'll play well and I'll try hard and I'll skate fast and not make mistakes. And Philp hasn't made many glaring errors by any stretch of the imagination. But if I look at one thing, that's what I see that he needs to do a little bit more of for me. Hey, Greg's new guys, Roslovic. He has the most natural offensive instinct the team lacks. He's confident with the puck and is always looking to shoot first from Trevor. And that comes to our question on which of the new guys have impressed you the most. Kyle says, boys, I'm going to Savoy. Even though he's not putting pucks in there, he's playing hard and generating chances no matter where he is in the lineup. From Kyle. And Kyle, you know what? When you look at the points, you go back and look at the Emberson goal and look who kind of started that play. It's Matt Savoy. Now, they don't give you a third assist in the NHL. But he was a real driver of getting that play started. He's done it, in the Montreal game, same thing. They scored a key goal there. You don't get credit for it. That was the Podkolzin goal. Actually, he was on the ice for it. So he's been on the ice for some key goals. Just hasn't got a point yet. And that's why I think he played 60 minutes last game. The coach is seeing Matt Savoy's doing a lot of things that you can't just always look at points. You have to look past the points. Sometimes points can be deceiving. Guys getting points, you're getting a second assist on some goals doing nothing. Well, other times you're making a second assist that's unbelievable and totally started the play. But Savoy is a good choice. I think he's been really solid. And while the points aren't there, he's making a lot of plays. He's around the puck. He's holding on to the puck. And those are things that I think will bode well for him. And I think the points will come as long as he doesn't lose confidence. I don't think there's any reason to lose confidence. You're a player. You can look at the stat sheet after the game and you see, okay, you know what? No points. He was a +1, but I played 60 minutes tonight. Okay. All right. That's a key, man. Like that. I'd have to look at Matt Savoy, and I wonder if that's the most minutes he's played in his career. I'm going to have to look up his game in the final commercial break, but I wouldn't be surprised if that 60 minutes he might have played 17 once. I'd have to double check, but I think that could be one of the highlights for sure. So we'll take our final break. We'll come back with that. We'll hear more from Chris Knobloch and his expectations tonight as the Oilers try to continue rolling, get a home winning streak going. 2 in a row on the same homestand. We'll find out if they do it. A few hours, we'll get to that and more. We got the pregame show coming up right at the conclusion of our show. Also a reminder, Game 6 tomorrow night, right here on Sports 1440. I know Cons was listening to it on the way home. It was great for me as well. Just listened to it driving home and got to hear the history being made with back-to-back jacks to start a game. Never happened until last night. If you were watching, you saw history. It's never happened before. Trey Yesavage, no rookie's ever struck out 12. No player, no pitcher in MLB history has ever struck out 12 and walked none in a World Series game. That is damn impressive. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at CanTorque 14635 119th Avenue. Stop in the simulators here. There's lots of people trying to see who is the best driver. We'll find out on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
Since 1971, the Brick has been committed to saving you more. Right now, hurry in to save up to $1,000 off sofas and sectionals, up to 40% off mattresses, and up to 35% off furniture. Plus, buy any 3 select major appliances and save 15% off. And if you can find a lower price before the end of the year, including Black Friday and Boxing Day, they'll refund the difference. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Stredley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price started at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Need the perfect ride? The Golf Cart people have it. They offer a wide selection of new and used models from top brands like Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go. Whether it's a lifted cart for adventure or a sleek ride for the course, they'll find your match. Customize with accessories or choose a ready-to-go option. Trusted by Albertans since 1997 for quality. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or fairway your way.
Hi, I'm Al Hamilton, first captain of the Edmonton Oilers. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men, and here in Alberta, we're fighting back. This November, every dollar you give helps the Prostate Cancer Center fund early detection, testing, and life-saving support right here in our province. Let's keep it in Alberta for our fathers, brothers, husbands, and friends. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your men's health fundraiser or donate today. Together, we can look after the men in our community. Thank you for your support.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and if you're serious about selling your used RV, then I'm serious about getting you the money you want. You're not the only one who wants to spend the winter in selling mode rather than storage mode, and we're happy to help.
People come to No Bull RV 12 months of the year, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. A used RV is one of a kind, which means when the one you're looking for comes along, customers quickly pounce on it. So if you've outgrown your RV or you're looking to upsize, downsize, or just turn it into cash, come see us at No Bull RV.
You have to be serious about selling, though, right, Rick?
Better believe it, Bob. This is for people who truly want their RV gone. If we're going to store your RV for free all winter, it has to be priced to sell. And that's why customers come to No Bull 12 months of the year. Because you never know when the perfect used RV is going to arrive. And if it's here, it won't last long.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We get set to wrap up our show and set you up for the pregame show tonight with Paulson and Halley, as they will bring you right up to a puck drop between the Oilers and the New York Rangers. No lineup changes for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. They will go 11-7. Stuart Skinner taking on Shesterkin. Shesterkin had the night off in Vancouver. Jonathan Quick posted the shutout. Pretty easy night for him, as he only faced 3 high danger chances in that game against the Vancouver Canucks, who are banged up and didn't look very good. Now, the Oilers, last game against Utah was a positive step in the right direction. No question, they played well. The key is, can they do it again? And that's going to be the key. We're going to get to more from Chris Knobloch here momentarily. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live at CanTorque for their 25th anniversary. So you want to stop in if you want to try your luck in the simulator, the race simulator. It's unbelievable opportunity for you. So 14635 119th Avenue. Stop in and you can test yourself. We've had a few listeners drop in, and some have done very well. Others not so much. We'll get you the list tomorrow on who was the quickest, or maybe the top 2 or 3 on the simulator. And Knobloch was asked, is there a benefit to, because they're going 11-7, is there a benefit to his defenseman playing fewer minutes?
It could be beneficial for the defenseman playing fewer minutes, getting up in the ice, gaining a little bit more. But the game for a defenseman is a little bit different than the forwards. Forwards are a little more sprinting and stops and starts. The defensemen, they might be battling down low, but once they move the puck up, usually they get a little bit of a break. So, I don't know. There's pros and cons of having the 7-11. There's a lot of teams that have had success long-term doing it. But typically most teams go the traditional 12-6.
And, like 11-7 is not going to be the forever answer for the Edmonton Oilers, but I don't mind it at short term. Also, McDavid and Draisaitl have been on the penalty kill this season for the Edmonton Oilers, and they have performed quite well when you look at it. On the ice, they've played, I think it's 15 minutes now, both players, and neither has been on the ice for a goal against. So that's obviously pretty good reason to keep them on the penalty kill. Knobloch was just asked about what his thought about those two on the PK thus far.
Right now, it's very positive, but it's such a short period of time right now. I'm not certain how many minutes they've actually killed. 15 together. So, no goals. Shorthanded, that was empty nets, and they've created a lot of chances. I think early on, I haven't looked in the last couple days, but I know early on they probably had more expected goals for was higher than against. So I would say they are 2 of our better penalty kill forwards, but on the flip side, it does take away from our 5-on-5 scoring. So special teams are very important, power play and penalty kill. But we also don't want to take away from our 5-on-5. So as the season goes on, we'll have to find out what the best balance is for our group. And maybe it's one guy, maybe that's one of them killing, maybe both of them, or I don't know, but we'll address that later.
Yeah, I think when Zach Hyman comes back, that's somebody that they're going to use. Obviously, Matthias Janmark, if he's in the lineup, he's another guy that they would use on the penalty kill. But you can't argue with the results right now. I was looking at it earlier today. Players who have played at least 15 minutes on the penalty kill and have not been on for a goal against, there's only 14 in the entire NHL. Brett Pesce, Cody Ceci, Brent Burns, Jacob Trouba, Valerie Nichushkin, Nick Foligno, Louis Crevier, Bowen Byram, Joel Armia, Alex Iafallo, Connor McDavid, Travis Konechny, Leon Draisaitl, Arturi Lehkonen. That's it. There's only guys who have played. Now, Pesci's played the most at 30-27. Cece's at 25-06. Brent Burns at 23. Those are the three guys. Now, they're D-men. They should be playing more. But it's been a good experiment so far with those two on the penalty kill. They do have the one goal, of course, as the coach outlined. It was an empty net goal to shorthand it, but it still works. What about Nugent Hopkins? Do you expect him to play more back as a center when Hyman eventually returns in November?
Yeah, possibly. I think moving forward, I see him being our first line left winger, and I also see him being our third line centerman. Right now, he's playing really good hockey. He's contributing offensively, and but with Hyman coming back, there's another winger, and yeah, we got options to, and I think that's good. I think that's good to have Nugent Hopkins be able to play those two spots.
Well, yeah, it's a good ability to have a guy who can do more. And there we go. That's Chris Knobloch. Got a few other texts to get to, 833-414-1440. Hey, Greg's, what were those numbers on Guerrero and Ohtani? People keep telling me that Ohtani, even if they lose, should be the MVP of the World Series. Wow, I don't know about that. So just looking at the playoffs first, let's just look at the playoffs in general. So in the playoffs in general, Guerrero and Ohtani. Ohtani's played 15 games. Guerrero's played 16 games. Guerrero has 27 hits. Ohtani has 15. They both have 8 home runs. Strikeouts, 22 for Ohtani, 5 for Guerrero. Walks, Ohtani 14, Guerrero 12. Ohtani did have 4. I know Guerrero's been walked intentionally twice, I think, in the series, and Ohtani's been intentionally walked 4 times. Batting average, 415 Guerrero, 250 Ohtani. On base percentage, 506 Guerrero, 392 Ohtani. Slugging percentage, 831 Guerrero, 717 Ohtani. OPS, 1337 Guerrero, 1109 Ohtani. Now, if we go to just the World Series, now you're looking at Ohtani's batting 316, Guerrero's 364. Their on base percentage is an identical 500. The Ohtani has a higher OPS at 1395. Home runs is 3-2. Hits 8 for Guerrero, 6 for Ohtani. But here's where, if you're looking at it, you know who has the most hits so far in the World Series? Guerrero and Addison Barger. Barger has 8 hits and 17 at bats. He's batting 471. His OPS is 1147. Like I'm telling you, if the Jays win, Guerrero's probably going to get it because of star power. You know, he's hit the home runs, which have been massive. Now, Barger did hit the one grand slam. Barger has 5 RBIs. Guerrero has 3 RBIs. Like when you look at all the numbers, if we're just looking at the World Series MVP, you can make a strong argument that Barger could be the MVP, right? He's got 5 RBIs. He's got just as many hits as Guerrero. He's batting 471. He has a higher OPS. He has a higher slugging percentage. He has the same on-base percentage. And he's made some, he threw out a guy at the plate. He made a diving catch last night. Like he's pretty damn good. Like honestly, it might Barger or Guerrero for MVP of the World Series is no joke, right? Now, here's a fun question for you. Connor, do you know who won MVP when the Jays won their first World Series?
Yep, because I reached out to get him on the show, but I forget his name. He's coaching in Florida right now.
You forget his name?
Yeah.
He's a catcher.
I forgot his name.
Think of Lloydminster. What's Lloydminster called? The blank town.
Border?
Mm-hmm.
Pat Borders?
There you go.
Yeah. Well, he is coaching, I think, high school or college ball down south.
Yeah.
I know a little about him, but I forgot his name.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, Pat Borders, 1992. So, like, to me, the MVP, it should not be on name. It's just who was the most important guy. Guerrero's been great, don't get me wrong. But Barger's numbers stack up that he's been better in the World Series. What about Trey Yesavage? Well, Trey Yesavage had one unreal game, right, Vern? One game. His first game was okay, not spectacular, lasted 3 2/3. So, if they're going to play 6 games and he impacts one of them, can he be the MVP? Not for me. I don't think so. Hey, Gregor, do you think they're possibly showing Stetcher for 11-7 for a possible trade? Can't see getting them much for him from Old Stony Eagle. Well, here's when I look at that and I say, okay, Troy Stetcher, really reliable guy. You know what you get. But if you're a team who only has 7 draft picks, are you giving up one of them for Troy Stetcher when you know you could probably get him on waivers? I wouldn't do it. I guess it's possible, but I'd be surprised if a team was even. I know people say, oh, it's just a 7th. Are you sure it's just a 7th? Look at what's Detroit's 7th rounder from 2023 doing right now in the NHL playoffs? Pretty darn good, right, Finney? So, yeah, I'd be surprised if that happened. Hey, Gregor, is it baseball MVP or World Series only? No, this one you have a championship MVP, right? Guerrero was the ACLS MVP. You have an NLS MVP, and then you have a World Series MVP. It's different than the Conn Smythe. Conn Smythe is for the entire playoffs. It's not just a Stanley Cup final. This is just for the Stanley Cup final. For the World Series. So that's how I put it. Hey, Trey Yesavage was great yesterday, but it's one game. Right? That's why for me, I don't. I can't have him as the MVP. If his let's say Yamamoto goes another complete game and he has 2 complete games for the Dodgers, and they somehow win in 7, well, then you could you could argue it, right? So, but Trey Yesavage has a fantastic game, unreal game, but I don't think he can do it. That's just me, though. I don't know. Cons, got anybody other than Barge or Guerrero? Would you put Yesavage?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a little bit tougher being a pitcher versus a guy who's playing out there every game and making plays. I think he's been awesome. He's been one of my favorite stories in this entire run, just what he's done. But no, I don't think I can put him in there quite yet.
All right. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Congratulations again to everybody at CanTorque as they celebrate 25 years today. Be sure to stop in. The simulator is still open. They're having a great bash tonight. 14635 119th Avenue if you want to try your luck on the simulator. Let's get to the Conman Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet BUMC. You got 2 days left. Stop in on Halloween. Get a truck. Help feed a family of 4. That's what Mike and the gang are doing at NorthgateGM.com. Good night.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Edmonton Oilers hosting the New York Rangers down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7. Our pregame coverage with myself, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro gets going at the top of the hour. Couple games on right now after 20 minutes. Sabres trail the Bruins 2-0. Flames up on the Sens 2-1. Stars Lightning scoreless, as are the Flyers and Preds. And midway through the first, the Carolina Hurricanes up on the Islanders 2-0. Later tonight, you also have the Blues hosting the Canucks, Penguins in Minnesota, Jets taking on the Blackhawks, Devils in San Jose, and the Kings hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Week 9 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with the Dolphins hosting Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. That one gets going in 20 minutes time. And in the association, the Magic up on the Hornets, 59-47 in the second quarter. Later tonight, the Bucks host the Warriors, undefeated Thunder hosting the Wizards, and the Heat taking on the San Antonio Spurs. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Up next, pregame coverage. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports